Hello, everyone. It's me, Bunn. And now it's time for some more Umineko. Yay! Clap, 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 clap. I missed last week because I don't know. I think I wasn't feeling well. So now I am feeling better. So I'll continue playing Umineko. Yeehaw. Yeah, I think it was a combination of like headache and I was just kind of feeling sick. Anyways, let's move on over to this screen. We've got our Umineko. We've got my everything else set up. Okay, let's continue. Ah. Oh god, look at that description. Good morning. The Golden Witch eagerly awaits your arrival. Please do grant her that wish. Were you able to get a good rest and perfect your strategy? The witch expects a lot from you, and is more than ready to launch an assault right from the start. I also look forward to seeing your strategy. The difficulty level is extreme. The witch intends to make you surrender all at once. Nightmare. So we're going to go until about 11:15-ish, I guess? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Rosa and the rest returned from the chapel to the parlor in the mansion. So many things had happened since early in the morning. Of course they were high-strung. Battler and George, who had cried, raged, and let their emotions explode after seeing their parents' tragic bodies, returned to the parlor and sat in the sofas, dazed, as though everything up until then had been a lie. Only Maria was completely unchanged and looked just like normal. When she wasn't playing pranks, she was basically a kid who played wordlessly by herself. So even if she was dazed, she would probably look just as she did. But as she turned on the TV and flipped through the channels, it looked as though nothing about her had changed from normal. Did Rosa think anything in particular about this attitude, which was clearly different from normal people? She stared at Maria's back as though looking at something that wasn't quite heartwarming. Oh, damn. Eventually, Kumasawa came to say good morning. Her cheerful manner was clearly out of place, and she couldn't help but be bewildered by the strange atmosphere in the room. Then, when she heard the details from Goda, she reacted loudly with shock. Of course you've contacted the police, right? What should we do in a time like this? Oh, what should we do? Please calm down and listen. It seems a machine somewhere was somehow done in by lightning last night. Because of that, we haven't been able to use the phones. What? Then, until the typhoon passes, we can't even contact the police. Maybe Kumasawa's exaggerated surprise was a little comical. What? Even in this kind of situation, Rosa giggled. Because of that, the fog of confusion that had covered her head cleared up a little. I've got to stay strong. It's not just Maria. I'm acting as a parent for George-kun and Battler-kun too, so I have to stay strong. Rosa had been the youngest sibling, with a large difference in age between her and the others. So, she had always been treated as a child. Every time she learned something new, it was something obvious to her siblings, and she had built up a complex, becoming convinced of her own incompetence. Damn, sad. So she had developed a passive personality, asking her siblings for advice every time something happened. But she no longer had any brothers or sisters. Ooh. Now, Rosa was the only one of the four Ushiramiya siblings left. Furthermore, if Kinzo continued to shut himself away even in this extraordinary situation, Rosa would have to surpass this crisis as the head's representative. I'm not a child anymore, not a child. Rosa slapped her knees lightly and stood up. She must not wait for orders now. She had to start moving herself. She picked up the receiver of the extension phone on the side table. Then she immediately remembered that the phones were down. Genji and Shannon, whom she had sent to see Kinzo, hadn't returned yet. She had a good guess at what was going on. He was probably yelling something nonsensical again and becoming unmanageable. His precious chapel had been defiled with blood. That was easy to imagine. She had planned on using the extension phone to call the study, but unfortunately the phones were down. Rosa decided to go to the study directly, with her own 2 feet. Her old self would have been too frightened to go see Kinzo. And in fact, if she did meet him, she probably would be blamed somehow and insulted. But this was no time to be frightened. As his true daughter, she had to make him aware of the current situation. Kumasawa-san, I'm going to see Father. Take special care of George-kun and Battler-kun. I'm sure they're on edge right now. Yes, yes, that may be true. It is truly pitiable. I shall make them something warm to drink. Thank you. Let's see, let's do... Okay. Rosa went out into the hallway and headed towards Kinzo's study. The atmosphere in this mansion, which she'd spent her younger days in, should have been full of memories. The atmosphere in this mansion, which she'd spent her younger days in and should have been full of memories, seemed somehow different. She began to climb the stairs in the entrance hall. Just then, in the faint darkness down the stairs behind Rosa's back, something glowed. It was a single fluttering gold butterfly. It fluttered around and sparkled. That butterfly danced about without a sound. It was only natural. No one can hear the sounds of a butterfly's wings beating. And then it came to a rest on Rosa's back as she slowly climbed the stairs. Rosa didn't notice it. If someone not in the know saw it, they'd probably assume it was just a single sheet of gold leaf in the shape of a butterfly that had been stuck there. Without noticing a thing, Rosa continued heading towards Kinzo's study. So, how will you entertain me with this next one? There are still many, many pieces left. Oh, God. Oh, God. Okay. In the parlor, which had fallen silent again, the only sound was that of the TV that Maria was watching alone. Let me move my headphone cord. Okay. If there was anything audible besides that, it was the sound of the rain, which had continued on and on since the previous night. Every one of those who had witnessed that unearthly and horrible scene stayed silent, as though praying that the events of that morning had all been a dream. Because Kumasawa alone hadn't seen it, her reaction was slightly different. The silence itself seemed more unbearable to her, and she was anxious to encourage everyone somehow. However, she was aware that she must avoid saying anything careless, and she seemed to be pondering how she could be most helpful. Normally, it would be time for breakfast. However, possibly because something so outrageous had happened, Goda seemed to have forgotten to prepare a meal. Or maybe everyone was so beaten up that they'd forgotten their hunger. Kumasawa wanted to bring up the subject of what they should do for breakfast, but it didn't seem like the right atmosphere, so she really couldn't. But she really was hungry. So she casually made a proposal. It seems everyone is tired after all that has happened. In times like this, I think the best thing is to heat yourself with some warm black tea. Indeed, that is an excellent plan. I agree as well. How about some delicious black tea with biscuits and jam? Ah, yes, I hear Halloween will be here soon, and we have some delicious-looking pumpkin-shaped cookies on the shelf. Oops. Uh-oh. Maybe don't mention Halloween. Uh-oh. Oh. Kumasawa-san, that's... Of course, she had said the wrong thing. She had reminded Battler and the rest about that horrible and tragic Halloween party in the chapel. Nanjo hurriedly whispered into Kumasawa's ear. Ooh. Battler-san, I am so sorry. I didn't mean to upset you, truly I didn't. No, don't worry about it. I'll definitely turn this boiling anger back on the culprit. I wonder if that culprit is still on the island. Probably. At least until the typhoon passes, no boat will come. Yes, that is true. After all, the boats stop coming even when it's just a little windy. They certainly wouldn't come during a typhoon, yes. It creeps me out. You think so, Aneki? Me too. And that's even putting aside whether the culprit's that mystery guest or not. Indeed. We've naturally suspected the mysterious guest who calls herself Beatrice, but we still cannot be certain she is the culprit. There is still the possibility she's a victim whose corpse still hasn't been found. When I think of it that way, there's something I just can't understand. What do you mean by that? It's simple. It's just like Kumasawa Bachan said a short while ago. Right now, this island is right in the middle of a typhoon, and escape is impossible. The same thing goes for the culprit. In that case, having the crime come to light should have been the thing the culprit wanted to avoid most. I see. So there was no need to draw that creepy magic circle on the entrance to the chapel and show off the fact that corpses were there. Yeah, that's it. And if they were able to take the time and effort to do something so horrible to those 6 people, it should have been possible for them to hide the 6 corpses where they'd be impossible to find. I agree. That brutal Halloween party probably wasn't directed at those who died. It was probably directed at the people who would eventually discover it, us. It's probably safe to say that the magic circle was there to help us find it. The culprit knows they won't be able to escape from this island for a while, and yet they acted as though they wanted to make us find the corpses in the middle of this typhoon. What does it mean? If I were the culprit, I definitely wouldn't play around and make us find the bodies. Beatrice-sama was not in her room, and the room did not seem particularly disturbed. No, Milady did disturb it quite a lot, though. Come to think of it, what happened to Jessica? Kanon-san is looking after her. They are probably in Milady's room. That isn't good. The culprit is definitely still on the island. In this situation, I don't believe it's a very good idea to isolate ourselves in small numbers. What do you mean by that? You don't mean to say that the culprit plans to kill all of us? Oh. Let us remain calm. That is not yet certain. But unfortunately, we can't deny that the possibility exists. This letter was in the chapel. According to this, the culprit is the witch, and if we don't solve the riddle of Grandfather's epitaph and find the gold, they'll massacre the whole family, or something like that. Is that true? Would you allow me to read it as well? Eek! Eek! I love these adults and their sounds! Ah! Ugh. As they read the witch's letter, Goda, Kumasawa, and Nanjo's faces grew even paler than they had been. They're so Gouda. Kumasawa could no longer hide her shaking. If you don't want to die, try finding grandfather's hidden gold. Is that it? Screwing around with us. I'll bet she can't solve the riddle, so she's trying to make us solve it. However, I wonder what the truth is. Who is this? Madame always stated that the legend of the gold was nothing more than an illusion created by the master. It is doubtful whether it actually existed. True. Supposedly they thought it would be nice if it did exist, but only half believed it. The relatives started believing in the legend of the gold only after Kinzo's health worsened and the inheritance problem came up. Until then, hardly anyone believed in it, I understand. Oh, so maybe that's why. Do you remember? On the table in the chapel, there were 3 gold ingots. That alone would be worth quite a lot. Doesn't that prove that the legend of the gold was real? Excuse me, please wait. Just now, did you say there were 3 gold bars? Yeah, there are definitely 3 of them piled up. So what? I happened to hear ChRoMA say something once. Yes, I just happened to hear it, you see. It's not like I was trying to listen in on secret discussions, no indeed. Don't worry about that now. So then what? Is there something wrong with there being 3 of those gold bars? Yes. According to ChRoMA, there was only 1 bar ever found to support the legend of the gold. That is correct. I believe Kinzo-san showed the president of Marusu a mountain of gold and let him take 1 bar back with him, or so the story goes. That 1 bar came to be in ChRoMA's possession, and he said that no other gold supporting the master's legend of the gold existed. You're talking about Uncle Kraus here? So, what does that mean? No, wait, 3? Wait. Where did they come from? That's too many, right? Perhaps there is another explanation. Maybe the other relatives also found 1 each, and they each brought 1 of them there. Oh, my mouth is fucking up a lot. No, I cannot believe that. When all of the relatives came to the mansion, I was entrusted with their luggage. I did not feel a suspicious weight back then. I think those would weigh about 10 kilograms. If that much weight was in their bags, even I would notice. But it didn't seem that way. Same here. At the most, there were some changes of clothes, a first aid kit, Kirie-san's makeup, stuff like that, I think. Aunt Rosa's luggage also looked pretty light. In that case, those 3 piled up gold bars being shown to them. Those 3 piled up gold bars were being shown to them, or maybe to us. The legend of the gold is definitely real. It isn't an illusion. They're telling us to try and find out the secret if we can. Could they be scheming to have us solve the epitaph, which points to where the gold is hidden, and then try to snatch it away? Yeah, that does make some sense, but there are a couple parts that don't fit. To start, our parents, who should have been the most likely to solve the epitaph, were killed first. That seems to create a contradiction right off the bat to me. And something else makes even less sense. If the legend of the gold is actually true, then how were they able to pile up all that gold? It's almost like the culprits already found the gold, and is telling us to try and find it too. Maybe the culprit found those 3 like Uncle Kraus did. Maybe that convinced them that the legend is true, and they're trying to make us search for the rest. I think that way fits the best. The pieces on the chessboard aren't lined up at all. We don't have a clue what the culprit is planning, what they want, or what they want to make us do. Is there any point? No matter what we think, is there anything we can figure out right now?
It was written down. What she wanted to make us do. Couldn't anyone read it?
Maria suddenly laughed in a creepy voice. I thought she'd been concentrating on the TV, but apparently she'd been listening in too. Without turning away from the TV, she very simply told us what we were forgetting.
Beatrice hasn't said once that she wants the gold. All she's asking is whether you're all capable of solving the epitaph's riddle or not. Though, I'll bet she's pretty sure you could never do it.
So, are you saying you can solve it, Maria?
I don't care. After all, she'll take me to the Golden Land, so I won't get in Beatrice's way. Ouch!
In any case, it looks like we'll have to ask Maria if we want to learn anything more. Maria, tell us. Who is this Beatrice? What is she planning?
You know Beatrice is a witch. She can do anything with her strange powers. The power of magic can do anything. It can even create gold or bread. And of course, it can create sweets too, right? You saw, didn't you?
At that time, everyone jumped at the sound of a door being slammed shut. When we turned around, we saw that Rosa had suddenly returned, bringing Genji and Shannon. Ooh. Uh-oh. The biggest downside to this, to this route is that now Rosa is here, and Rosa's just gonna beat the shit out of Maria every time. Oh god. We're not gonna get enough information. Rosa's just gonna keep hitting her daughter, and no one's gonna do anything about it. No! That's not funny. That sucks. When we turned around... Oh no, I should take a sip. This water is not cold. At all. But it's bottled, so it's fine. Water. Okay. When we turned around, we saw that Rosa had suddenly returned, bringing Genji and Shannon. Then she rapidly approached Maria, her heels squeaking, and hit her on the cheek. Damn. Rosa is so predictable. She's got one move, and it's just hitting Maria again.
Stop talking about that. Battler-kun and the rest will take it badly. Ooh.
Without waiting for a response, she hit Maria's cheek once more. What the fuck? Everyone could only stand there, stunned.
I don't know what ooh means. What about yes? Ooh.
She mercilessly hit Maria's cheek again. Maybe Maria didn't feel like resisting after being hit twice. She weakly said yes. Rosa-san, there's no reason to be so harsh.
This is my daughter's education. Do not interrupt.
Oh my god. The atmosphere around Rosa, with Genji and Shannon standing at attention behind her, was somehow cold and yet dignified. Completely different from how she had seemed before she left. She was holding something that looked like a gun. I couldn't imagine that she'd be holding a toy in this situation. Aunt Rosa, what is...
This is Father's.
Damn, it's Rosa with the gun this time. Damn. Oh, God. Why did we give this bitch the gun? Why does this bitch have the gun? Oh, no. You know that someone's in charge if they have the gun. You see, it is very simple.
This is Father's. Because of the current situation, I borrowed it specially. Everyone should understand. The culprit is still nearby.
Ooh, God. Okay. Let me try and get more comfy. Oh yeah, this is a lot better.
We don't know what might happen.
I agree. Let me move this closer to me. Okay. Rather than trying to figure out what the culprit is planning, it might be better to first think about our own safety.
Father was fine, but he was considerably shaken by these sudden events. Fortunately, he said he won't leave his room, so he should be safe.
Oh God, the butterfly. Oh God, the butterfly. Ooh. Sorry, Rosa, but you're gonna get your dad dead. Your dad's going to not be alive soon. Uh-oh.
For now, we should all try to stay together as much as possible.
I agree.
We don't even know where the culprit's hiding, and after all, there's no proof that there's only one of them.
Even though I'd said it myself, I shivered. That's right. Could a single person kill 6 people and set up such a horrible scene all alone? Isn't it natural to assume that this crime was carried out by multiple culprits? I agree with Rosa-san. It probably is good for us to stay together.
Yes, I think it's good too. Yes.
Maybe it's about time we called for Milady and Kanon-san. That's right. Let's have them come down. George Aniki tried to grab the extension phone, but Goda-san shook his head. That's right, the phones are down right now, aren't they? I'll go with a couple people. If George Aniki and Goda-san come too, that should be enough. No, let's all go together. It's a wolves and sheep puzzle. If we're in balance while gathered together like this, then maintaining the situation will be safest. Wolves and sheep puzzle?
Ooh, I've got it. I'll show you.
Maria, turn off the television.
Genji-san, please tell me where Jessica-chan's room is. Let's all go together.
Yes, I will guide you.
Come on, everyone. We'll move together. Follow my instructions.
We stood up. Maria alone looked like she had some regrets about the TV, but she decided to go along with everyone for now and got up. Shannon, thank goodness. I was a bit worried when you took so long to get back.
I am sorry to have worried you. The master ordered me to transcribe something for him.
Transcribe? Shannon.
I am sorry, excuse me.
We headed for Jessica's room, with the armed Aunt Rosa and Genji-san in the lead. Jessica and Kanon-kun were a boy and girl of about the same age. It'd sure be a shame if we barged in on them at a bad time, or at least that's what we'd be joking about normally. However, Aunt Rosa was on edge, constantly exuding a sense of tension. So it definitely wasn't the sort of atmosphere for careless remarks like that.
Hey, don't fall behind. Everyone move together. We don't know when or where the culprit might leap out at us, right?
No, maybe Aunt Rosa's attitude was more appropriate. Since Grandfather hadn't come down, Aunt Rosa was our leader. Should she be? I don't know. This wasn't a situation where she could smile like she always did. And Aunt Rosa was a mother, too. She probably also thought that if she didn't get a hold of herself, some harm might befall her beloved daughter, I would put in quotes, because Rosa is cruel. The culprit had killed 6 of our parents at once. The method they had used was unknown, but there is a good chance this opponent could take down a large number of people in a flash. Would that be with weapons or with numbers? Or with the magic of a witch? In any case, I couldn't think of any reason why it'd be okay to let our guards down. The rest of us had better take much, much greater care, like Aunt Rosa. Everyone stop! Aunt Rosa spoke in a sharp voice. Wondering what this was all about, we peered forwards, and immediately realized the reason. What is this? Everyone, get back! Goda-san and Genji-san approached the door. Beyond this door was probably Jessica's room. This seems to be the same paint that was scribbled on the door to the chapel. It appears so. It seems not much time has passed since it was drawn. What the heck? Is that another magic circle?
It's the first magic circle of the moon. It has the power to open unopening doors.
Drawn on the door to Jessica's room was the same kind of creepy scribble that had been drawn on the door to the chapel. That strange pattern must have had some occult meaning, but it didn't matter what that meaning was. We were worried about whether those two were okay.
That doesn't matter. Are Jessica-chan and Kanon-kun safe?
This does not bode well. We should quickly bring those two downstairs. Milady? Milady? Are you there? Please answer. Goda-san knocked violently and yelled, but there was no answer. He gripped the doorknob with a clatter, but the lock just resisted him. Rosa-sama, it seems to be locked.
There's no helping it. Please open it up.
Genji nodded, and Goda quickly unlocked the door with the master key. In the back of my mind, horrible images floated up and disappeared, one after another. A magic circle had been drawn on the door to the chapel. Behind that lay 6 corpses. So if there's a magic circle drawn on the door to Jessica's room, then beyond it must be...
Jessica-sama! What happened? Is she there? Jessica! What happened?
It was truly heartless. I can't tell if that beeping is the game or if, like, something outside, but that is definitely a fucking ice cream truck outside. Great. It was truly heartless. The expression on Goda-san's face and his cry as he opened the door prepared us for the brutal fate that Jessica had met even before we saw her. Everyone rushed into Jessica's room at once. That scene told everyone that their worst fears were spot on. Jessica!
How horrible. Did Dr. Nanjo?
Inside the room, which seemed elegant for the bedroom of one so young, Jessica lay crumpled on the ground. There was a large pool of blood on the floor, and there was a knife or something sticking deep into her back. Was it a knife? There was a design on the handle that just had to symbolize something demonic. It had to be a weapon with some kind of occult meaning. This is horrible. She has passed away. This probably reached her lungs. Not much time has passed since she died. Jessica! Damn it, damn it!
Battler-sama?
I was naive. I knew it. Since the culprit couldn't escape the island, they were definitely close by. So why didn't I get cautious sooner? I was naive. I just assumed that a culprit would commit their crime and then just sneak away and hide. We were stunned then. We thought Jessica-chan giving in to her rage and running off was just something that couldn't be helped. But we were naive. We should have stopped her. Yoda-san, why did you leave those two alone? If only you had been with them, something like this. No, that is, I said it was dangerous, we should return. It's just that Milady said that she wanted to be alone. Kanon-san told me to leave it to him and... Speaking of which, where is Kanon-san? That's right. What in the world happened to Kanon-kun?
Kanon-kun? Where?
Kanon-san should have been with Milady. Where in the world did he go? You don't think they got him? Quiet. Someone might be hiding in this room. Search under the bed and in the closet. There was a chance that Kanon-kun's corpse had been pushed away somewhere. At Rosa-san's order, everyone searched throughout the room together. But there wasn't a single human hiding anywhere. God, this sucks. So this is what she means by disrespecting the dead. He's nowhere. Could the culprit have taken him out of the room? Then we'll have to search for him quickly and save him. If we're slow, something awful might happen. Aunt Rosa, let's search all over the mansion. Let's search for the culprit. Let's save Kanon-kun. Quiet! When Aunt Rosa yelled at us, we instantly fell silent. She was probably contemplating something. However, what in the world could that be? Aunt Rosa walked around the room as though looking for something, or as though she was collecting her thoughts. Oh, that's a new song. Fun. For the ice cream truck, I'm sorry. Aunt Rosa walked around the room as though looking for something, or as though she was collecting her thoughts. Then she found something on the side table by the bed and picked it up. If anyone knows, tell me. Which key is this? Aunt Rosa showed everyone a key with a cute mascot attached to it. Judging from its cute appearance, I didn't doubt that it was Jessica's key, but I had no way of knowing for sure. It is probably the key to this room, to Milady's room. After hearing that, Aunt Rosa made a point of going outside the door and checking. Without a doubt, it was the key to this room. I wonder why it was set in a place like this. Wouldn't you normally keep such an important key in your pocket?
The lady wasn't in the habit of locking her room. It seems she would only do it when she went to school, because she didn't want someone like Kraus-sama to look inside her room.
I see. She wasn't at school, so it's natural that Jessica-chan would set the key down here. How many keys can open this door? Just the one Milady had. Can't it be opened with your master keys? They can open it. How many master keys are there? Are all of the servants holding them? Are there extras? Yes, we all have one. As for extras, I wonder.
There used to be several, but Madam scolded us harshly, saying that was careless, so they should have been dealt with.
That is correct. There is only one held by each servant. There are no more. Ah, fuck. Wait a sec. I think we talked about extra master keys in the last game, right? Indeed. Well, regarding that, I have noticed that having several master keys whose locations are unknown is quite disadvantageous for me. That's probably right. Since you want to make me believe in magic using closed rooms, it'd really hurt you if there were more master keys than we thought. After all, every time a trick involving locks show up, I plan to resist by arguing that the culprit had a master key that someone lost in the past, or a duplicate. Yes, that's correct. So I've decided to make a move to defeat that. I'll update our setting. The only master keys are the ones held by the servants, 1 key each. Messing with me. More importantly, what kind of move is this? What's Aunt Rosa talking about? Who knows? You should try listening in. Thank you. I have the situation sorted out. Oh God. And I've been able to pinpoint the culprit who assaulted Jessica-chan, or at least one of their accomplices. Oh God, Rosa, what are you doing? What did you say? Who is it? Rosa, you don't mean Kanon-kun, do you?
Huh? What? Why Kanon-kun? This room was locked, and the only keys that can unlock it are the master keys held by each servant, and the key Jessica had. But Jessica-chan's key was closed up in here, which means it's only possible that one of the master keys locked this room up.
It is as you say.
In that case, someone killed Jessica, then locked the door. That person had a master key, and there are only 5 people with master keys. Oh my! It wasn't me, not me! No, I could never do such a thing. Kumasawa-san got up late. After we returned from the chapel to the parlor, we did meet you there, but it's impossible to prove where you were and what you were doing until that time. You watched us from the shadows, chased after Jessica-chan and Kanon-kun when they were isolated, and stealthily attacked them. Are you saying I visited Milady's room and did something so horrible? I did no such thing. Yes, no such thing. What about you, Goda-san? You said you left Jessica-chan and Kanon-kun's care and returned. But I wonder if that's true. Maybe you actually killed the 2 of them, hid Kanon-kun's corpse, and then came back with an innocent look on your face. Nothing of the sort happened. I go to swear that I did not do anything like that. It wasn't us. We were following the master's orders and...
Yes, you and Genji-san alone are clean. Ooh. Clean. That's backed up by what I heard from Father. The 2 of you were in Father's room the whole time, transcribing and witnessing for him. Father and I can guarantee that. Thank you very much. In that case, the argument becomes who is more suspicious, Goda-san or Kumasawa-san. Ooh, place your bets. Place your fucking bets. Who's worse?
I thought that myself right after entering this room. But still, I found it strange. Look at the state of Jessica-chan's body. Doesn't everyone think it's strange?
Strange, you say?
Jessica-chan was struck in the back. Come on. They see it all the time, right? That in crimes where the victim is struck in the back, there's a high likelihood that the culprit was someone whose face was known to the victim. She definitely wouldn't invite a person in that she didn't trust. She definitely wouldn't invite a person she didn't trust into her room and defenselessly expose her back. But Rosa-sama, you don't mean to say that it was Kanon-kun, do you?
I do.
We're all fully aware of the state Jessica-chan was in right before she was killed. After seeing her parents' tragic bodies, Jessica-chan was very panicked. It's easy to imagine that, after she regained her composure, she'd be in a horrible slump. It would be very understandable if Jessica's frame of mind led her to shut herself up alone in her room. And those particulars match with Goda-san's story. Jessica-chan said to leave her alone. Then, Kanon-kun, who is of a similar age and who may have had some adolescent relationship with her, said to leave this matter in his hands. that feeling is also very understandable. So, for that reason, I think Jessica-chan would have welcomed Kanon-kun into her room. But what if it had been Goda-san or Kumasawa-san? Would she have let them into her room? I believe that I have gained Milady's trust, but even so, Oh, then I guess you're still a suspect after all, Goda-san. Oh my god, that fucking... Pulls a gun on him. Smug. I assumed Jessica-chan probably didn't like you very much, so I didn't think she would have let you into her room. I was convinced that you couldn't possibly be the culprit, but maybe I was mistaken? No, I am sad to say that I might not have been accepted by Milady. What about you, Kumasawa-san? We are far too separated by age to understand the feelings of a young person like Milady very well, and for the same reason, perhaps Milady never opened up her heart to us. Right, Goda-san? Yes, that's right. It would have been quite difficult for her to open her heart to the likes of us, and it would be inconceivable for Milady to let us into her room when she was grieving. Goda-san and Kumasawa-bachan each rubbed their hands together, affirming each other with forced smiles on their faces. God. It was a truly unpleasant rondo. So, it was a person who might be allowed to enter Jessica-chan's room while she was grieving. A person who might have been given access to her defenseless back, and who had a master key. That only points to one suspect. It was impossible for anyone except Kanon-kun. Please, wait! Kanon-kun definitely wouldn't do something like... Oh? Then is there someone else? Is Goda-san or Kumasawa-san suspicious after all? Who do you think is more suspicious, Shanon-chan? Come on. I could never... It wasn't me, Shanon-san. Yes, it was not me. Of course it wasn't me. The ones who had close relationships with Milady were Kanon-san, and after him, you, right? Yeah, isn't that right? Jessica-chan might also let Shanon-chan into her room. You were supposedly with father, but in reality, could you be the culprit? Shanon couldn't be the culprit. Didn't you just say she was doing some important work with grandfather? Yes, I know. Neither Shanon-chan nor Genji-san is the culprit. Father confirmed that they were together the whole time. Well then, what do you think, everyone? After being told that, no one could respond. Oh my god, this is hell. This is a nightmare. This is what she means by disrespecting the dead. After being told that, no one could respond. Even if someone did manage to argue back, they'd then have to offer the name of a different suspect. And no matter who that suspect was, it would have to be someone right here. No one could do something like that. Aunt Rosa glanced at everyone in turn, fingering the gun like it was a toy. She seemed so different from the kind Aunt Rosa I knew. No, it's probably because I'm not fully aware of the danger we're in. Maybe Aunt Rosa's attitude would seem natural if I could truly sense the peril surrounding us. It looks like no one has an opinion. Then I'll give you mine. Of course, I can't deny the possibility that Kanon-kun's a victim without a corpse. But until we find that corpse, I certainly can't rule Kanon-kun out as a suspect. There's a chance he'll suddenly appear again, claiming to have been attacked by the culprit and confined somewhere. But take care. Most likely, no, there's no doubt about it. Kanon-kun killed Jessica-chan. No way. I want to see it. I want to see it. Oh man. Oh man. God. Jessica, found in her own room in the mansion with a weapon shaped like a stake rammed into her back. Finally, at the very end, she got to be with the person she loved.
She must have been happy. Servant Kanon. The witch erased his corpse for fun. That alone caused an incredible uneasiness around the survivors. If that which exists resides in the human world, then that which does not exist is truly fantasy. Fantasy takes the form of what they fear. Horror. Nightmare. Nightmare.
No way. I can't believe it. Kanon did that to Milady? That's too much.
I feel the same as Shannon. I'm opposed to labeling Kanon-kun as the culprit. Then is the culprit Goda-san or Kumasawa-san? Tell me who's more suspicious.
It wasn't us!
If it wasn't Kanon-kun, then who could have locked this door? How about it, Shannon-chan? George-kun? Huh? What a bitch. Aunt Rosa closed in on Shannon-chan and George Aniki, laughing unpleasantly. Of course, they couldn't say anything back. They wanted to believe in Kanon-kun. But if they did, they'd have to suspect the other servants. The simplest culprit was the mystery guest, Beatrice. But she was nothing more than a guest and didn't have a master key. So if Beatrice is the culprit, despite lacking a master key, then do we have to accept the argument that she really is a witch who locked the door with the power of magic? That's a dirty argument. Dirty, so dirty. What are you worried about? Make it my fault. You can just make it the fault of the 19th person, the mystery guest, right? If you do, you won't have to watch this ugly battle of humans blaming each other, right? So then what? The culprit is the 19th person, the guest Beatrice. She's a witch, so she can lock the door without a key using magic. Are you telling me to accept that? Damn it! Damn it! Damn it! In the last game, I learned all of your weak points. So what will you do? What will you do? You said you definitely wouldn't accept me, right? Then you can use Kanon as the perfect sacrifice he is. Kanon killed Jessica. If you support Rose's theory, everything is settled here, right? Kanon is already dead. There should be no need to show concern for the dead. And you won't have to suspect anyone in this room. Damn it! I won't accept you. But Kanon-kun being the culprit is impossible. I don't want to suspect anyone. However, at times, there's no smoke without fire turns out to be true. Anyway, you can never be too cautious.
Dr. Nanjo? What do you mean by that?
Please do not misunderstand. I do not wish to label Kanon-san as the culprit. However, until we understand the situation, there's a possibility that he's the culprit. And I believe thinking that way is safer. Oh, yes, that's right. You cannot be too cautious. The general consensus certainly didn't seem to find fault with Nanjo for what he said. True, no one actually thought Kanon was the culprit. But unless they suspected him, they'd have to suspect one of the servants here. We didn't want to do that. We didn't want to suspect. We didn't want to be suspected.
That's correct. We cannot be too vigilant. I take it no one objects to that, right? Understand? There's a very high likelihood that these murders are connected to Father's Legend of the Gold. That means the crime must have been plotted by someone who wants to keep a vast amount of gold, worth several 10 billion yen, all for themselves. With that kind of money, you could play around for the rest of your life in any country. And with a motivation like that, they might even intend to kill all of us. Because she didn't have a master key, the 19th person, the guest Beatrice, is removed from suspicion for the murder of Jessica-chan alone, but we cannot conclude that she's unrelated to the crime. After all, it's a vast amount of gold we're talking about. We can't deny the possibility that there are multiple culprits. Right now, one of the people here among us might have been bought by the culprit.
Ooh. Among Us. As Aunt Rosa yelled, she looked all around, her gun still raised. Don't believe anyone. Suspect the person next to you. That's what she was saying. But no one wanted to suspect. They didn't want to suspect anyone here. That weakness in their hearts demanded an answer from those not present.
There are only two ways you can be sure someone isn't a suspect. If it's yourself, or if they're already no more than a corpse.
The same goes for Kanon-kun.
Until we catch sight of his corpse, he is the most likely suspect in Jessica-chan's murder. So take care. Even if he's still alive, even if he smooths things over with some explanation, you definitely mustn't trust him. Got it?
No one gave an answer of their own initiative. However, those who met Aunt Rosa's eyes had to nod their heads. Humans are beings who live by molding themselves to fit society. In other words, from the time they're born, trusting each other is genetically imprinted on them. It's unpleasant to go against that. They never want to suspect someone. But if they're forced to suspect someone, they find it safest to choose someone who isn't present at that moment. For the purpose of safety and nothing more, they half-heartedly chose Kanon to be the sacrifice. That's ridiculous. I definitely don't want to believe that Kanon-kun is the culprit. I'd heard it from George Aniki just now, but not only were those two close in age, they also had that kind of adolescent relationship Aunt Rosa had mentioned. It may be a little late now, but yes, they really did have that kind of air about them. After seeing her parents' tragic corpses, Jessica, bearing deep wounds in her heart, would only have trusted Kanon-kun. It was very easy to imagine. And that's why I don't like it. Kanon-kun was the only one she trusted, so she wouldn't have let anyone but Kanon-kun in. So Kanon-kun was the only one who could have killed Jessica? I just can't accept that kind of argument.
Understand? Even if Kanon-kun appears, don't let your guards down. As long as we cannot prove Kanon-kun's innocence, we will assume that Kanon-kun is the culprit who killed Jessica-chan.
That was Aunt Rosa's claim. By using the vague word assume, she managed to convince everyone in the end. Everyone nodded weakly, and with the excuse that they were just assuming it for the time being, they concluded that Kanon was the culprit who had killed Jessica. This is so fucked up. I wonder what the dead Jessica and Kanon would think if they could hear this exchange. Jessica was crying. She was crying into the chest of the person who had put his life on the line to fight for her, Kanon. It was frustrating. So frustrating that it felt like her chest would explode. She grieved and resented how far the dignity of the dead had been trampled.
How can those guys treat Kanon-kun like the culprit?
Because there's no corpse.
How can they treat you like the culprit just because there's no corpse? You risked your life to fight for me, right? Then that witch erased the corpse for fun. For them to call you the culprit after that, it's horrible. It's too horrible.
It's okay. I wasn't able to protect you in the end, but I was able to be of use to you in our final minutes.
Why doesn't everyone understand that? Stop it, Aunt Rosa! Don't call Kanon-kun the culprit with that messed up logic!
She isn't saying I'm the culprit. She's just saying that I'm suspicious. No, she's saying to be careful.
She is saying it! These people are saying you're the culprit so they can stop thinking. They aren't thinking about who the culprit who killed me is anymore. They aren't thinking of the possibility that you aren't the culprit. And after this, every time something happens, they'll use the excuse that Kanon-kun did it since we don't know where he is. I can't stand that.
It's okay. At least you know the truth. If only I know the truth, that's pointless. I know it after dying. Truth belongs to living humans. If the truth doesn't remain, the dead won't be rewarded. They won't know what Kanon-kun risked his life for. What a fucking whore! What a fucking bitch! Holy shit. Truly a splendid sight. You hardly ever find a sweeter honey than laments of the dead. Lament, lament. No matter how much you lament, the voices of the dead never reach the living. Damn it, damn it! It doesn't matter who. Hear my voice. Kanon-kun isn't the culprit. Kanon-kun's corpse was just erased. Why don't you understand that? Milady. I can't stand this. It's too sad. I hate it. This way, it's like Kanon-kun died for nothing, right? The honor of the dead means nothing unless it's acknowledged by the living. It doesn't matter who. Notice it. Notice it, please. Kanon-kun isn't the culprit. Don't go, everyone. Please, don't let it end like this. Don't go. Rosa announced that this room would be sealed until the police came. The rest didn't want to suspect each other, so they happily accepted that. For now, they accepted that Kanon was the culprit. Without even imagining how much disgrace that gave to the dead, they accepted it. Milady, you've done enough. Thank you. Don't go, everyone! I'm begging you, come back. Don't leave us behind like this. Don't keep treating Kanon-kun as the culprit. Ugh. It won't reach. The laments of the dead never reach. You make me laugh. Yes, that face of yours makes me laugh. Did you think your voice would reach them? It won't reach, will it, Jessica? It's all useless. Oh, this music. Huh? Battler-kun, did you say something? Yeah, it's useless. It's all useless. Just as everyone was about to leave the room, Battler stood alone with his back to them, still looking down at Jessica's corpse. What do you mean it's all useless? Do you have some objection? I agree that we've got to stay on our guards, but sorry, I'm not buying all that about Kanon-kun being the culprit. Oh, so you're speaking up at a time like this? If Kanon wasn't the culprit, and it wasn't my doing, how do you explain this closed room that Jessica's room has become? To be honest, I don't even have a clue on that point. Seriously, why'd I have to go and say it's all useless? Guess I'd better take responsibility for my own words. I'm empty-handed with 0 weapons to argue with. But I'm not gonna sit around on the sidelines anymore, Beatrice.
But Battler-sama?
Is there some proof that Kanon-kun isn't the culprit? The expression that rose to those two faces was definitely one of anticipation. They didn't want to believe that Kanon was the culprit. They really believed in Kanon. So they were expectant because they wanted me to strengthen their belief in him even more. Then, Battler-kun, which of the other servants do you suspect? Goda-san? Or is it Kumasawa-san? Quit it, Aunt Rosa. I know the person called Kumasawa Ba-chan well. She'll sometimes slack off while on the job, but she always makes things fun for people. Even if her eyes were dazzled by money, she isn't the kind of person who'd kill for it. But Battler-sama. And I just met Goda-san yesterday. Honestly, I still don't really understand him. But there is something I do understand. I've never seen anyone who cooks as happily as he does. He's the same. The same as Kumasawa Bachan. Goda-san likes to make people happy. As if a person like that could kill those who praise his own food as delicious, even if money was piled up in front of him.
Then, who do you think killed Jessica-chan, Battler-kun? Who do you think shut Jessica up in a room that could only be locked by a master key?
Wait. Before I argue about that, there's something I want to make clear. I don't want to talk about if so-and-so is not the culprit, then so-and-so must be the culprit. I just want to talk about how it's completely impossible for Kanon-kun to be guilty. You say you can prove that Kanon isn't the culprit? How? It's actually simple, and it's something I almost overlooked. Beato? Repeat it. If you can say it, try saying it. Kanon-kun had a master key on him. Huh. Kanon-kun doesn't have a master key on him? How could you possibly know that? A short while ago, I heard from Goda-san about what had happened. Damn. About how Jessica went to raid the VIP room right before she and Kanon-kun went off on their own. Goda-san, you did a good job remembering it. You protected Kanon's honor. I did? I heard him say the same thing, but I don't really understand. Could you explain it, Battler-kun? That's right. When Jessica unlocked the VIP room, she borrowed the key from Kanon-kun, but didn't give it back. So Kanon-kun doesn't have a master key on him. Is that really so? True, Goda has no recollection of the master key being returned to Kanon. However, she might have returned it when Goda wasn't looking. How does that prove that it definitely didn't happen? If you could just search the pocket of Kanon's corpse, you'd be able to say for sure, but you can't. It's impossible to prove. It's all useless. It's actually pretty simple, isn't it?
No way. So you're saying that's why Kanon-kun didn't have a key on him?
Yeah. And to prove it, all you have to do is search Jessica. Kanon-kun's master key should be in Jessica's pocket. Dr. Nanjo, would you check for us? Indeed. Nanjo dashed up to Jessica and searched in her jacket pocket. Everyone was expectant. Please, be there. Here it is. Is this it? Yes, that is a master key. Without a doubt. Oh my god! Oh man! At Genji's statement, there was a small ooh of joyful voices. Holy shit, this is good! That's Kanon-kun's master key. I'll say it again. Kanon-kun doesn't have a master key on him, so there's no way he could have locked the door. It certainly does appear that way. But Kanon-kun was the last person to meet Jessica-chan. The fact that he's suspicious hasn't changed. Let's give that stuff a rest. Huh? Fundamentally, humans are supposed to be creatures that trust each other. But because we live in a tough world, we learn how to be deeply suspicious. So we suspect everything. We're sad creatures. I won't deny that's our nature. But the one thing I won't let you do is reach conclusions without proof. If someone looks suspicious, that doesn't make them guilty. It makes them innocent. Of course, the world is filled with wolves. I'm not saying that you should carelessly believe everyone. But if you're gonna conclude that someone's guilty, you'd better have some perfect evidence. Unless you do, don't go around accusing them based on speculation.
That's...
My fucking boy! Oh my god, Battler is so good! Battler is so good! What a good boy! What an upstanding gent. Oh my god. Holy shit. I was the one who brought up there's no smoke without fire. That was careless of me. I apologize.
Battler-sama?
Wonderful reasoning, Battler-kun. Thank you too, Goda-san. Because of what you remembered, Kanon-kun's been cleared from suspicion. No, His fucking face! Aww, I like that smile of hers. It was the crisp sound of the witch applauding. Well done, well done. Not a bad job. Crap, did I fall for that bait piece just like you wanted? You magnificently proved that Kanon at least couldn't lock the door to this room. The servants should have all had master keys. With that as proof, Kanon was treated as the culprit, but you've at least managed to clear away that suspicion. In that case, how did the culprit who killed Jessica lock the door? So that's the problem we have now. I got drawn into exactly the flow you wanted. I got you, didn't I? Furthermore, you said something outrageous about not doubting any of the other servants. Well then, I can't wait to see how you try to smooth that over. Shut up. Let's start right away. You'll probably just deny it anyway, but first let's check the definition of this room as a closed room. Very well. First, there are absolutely no types of hidden doors. This door is the only way in or out. The only way to lock this door is with Jessica's single key or the master keys, only one of which is held by each servant. It is on the second floor, but it is probably possible to enter or leave through the window. But you didn't say it in red, though. But you didn't say it in red, Beato. Beato, why didn't you say it in red? Why? Why didn't you say it in red? However, the window is locked from the inside. Oh, it's locked from the inside. Well, someone still could have fucking went through the window. Cool, good information, thanks, Beato. I can spin the chessboard around already. If I start by arguing about the door and the lock, I'll probably be stuck dancing on the palm of your hand. Do as you like. Well then, what should I repeat? Repeat it. Kanon-kun was killed in this room. Very well. Kanon was killed in this room. But I erased his corpse with magic, right? Again, repeat it. Kanon-kun's corpse is in this room. I refuse. I can't repeat it. Because I erased the corpse with magic. Yeah, figures you wouldn't say that. There's gotta be a secret hidden in there somewhere. Damn, where's the mysterious point I've gotta find? Did they lock it without the master key? Or did they somehow kill those two while they were inside the room and it was locked? Or did they kill those two and then somehow escape? I hate to say it, but I'll have to cover up the moat first. Repeat it. The last time it was locked, it was due to a master key. I also refuse that. This refusing thing is really vague. I don't know if you refuse because it's impossible to repeat, or whether you can repeat it and you're refusing on purpose. Back when discussing the lock to the chapel, you completely turned the tables on me. When I have an advantage, there's no need to go out of my way to use red when it might be risky. That's all it is. I guess that makes sense. Originally, the point of the red was to counter my strange theories. Naturally, I'll use it in a way that works to my advantage. Now that I know I've got to worry about you twisting it around, I won't use it pointlessly. Well then, what move will you use next? I imagine a move placing suspicion on Goda or Kumasawa will be easiest, yes? Damn. It feels like you're leading me by the nose, and it pisses me off. Stay quiet a bit, I'm thinking. Of course, this door is the same as the chapel. When locked, it does not permit any form of entry. I'll say more. No trick could have the effect of locking the door from the outside without using a key. Damn you for always using red when I don't ask for it. Time to step back to square one. For now, I've just got to think. I'll lay out everything I know. First, there are two victims. Jessica and Kanon-kun. Kanon-kun's corpse isn't here, but Beatrice admitted in red that Kanon-kun was killed. So even without a corpse, he's included as a victim. There are a few questionable points, and depending on which I focus on, my line of thought changes a lot. First, after the culprit committed murder in this room, how did they lock it? If we assume the culprit's someone with a master key, it's extremely simple. But I'd like to avoid that if I can, because I'd have to suspect Goda-san or Kumasawa-san, or maybe even Shanon-chan and Genji-san. Here, I noticed something. I was contradicting myself. I was strangling my own neck. I want to deny Beatrice no matter what. I want to erase the existence of that brutal, fickle, ridiculous witch. So I have to explain everything with humans, not magic. But that also means suspecting some human. I don't want to suspect anyone. Of course, if there's some clear proof, I'll have to believe that the person in question is the culprit. But until that happens, I don't want to suspect people. Am I just naive? Am I just a kid who doesn't want to have my feelings betrayed? When those feelings tell me that this person, at least, could never commit murder? I want to deny that a witch did it, but I also want to deny that a human did it. I don't even know what I'm doing right now. In the first place, the only victory condition in our game was whether or not you could deny my existence. Even though that alone put you at a disadvantage, you've increased the number of victory conditions all by yourself, making your own victory harder. It's just as she says. If I just argue that someone with a master key did it, this closed room can be broken easily. However, the number of keys that can open this door is limited, and since it's clearly known who has them, using that argument means I'd be suspecting someone I know well. In fact, have I just been averting my eyes from the truth? Even while attacking that closed room trick in the chapel, which was exhilarating to destroy, I proposed that someone stole the key from Maria's handbag and returned it. If that theory's right, then the question becomes who could have stolen the key from her handbag. Maria's handbag was probably most unguarded while she slept. In that case, in addition to me, George Aniki and Jessica are also suspects. So George Aniki or Jessica is the culprit? Or maybe an accomplice? All of her parents have been killed, right? And yet, one of us consented to that and assisted with the crime? We all lamented, mourned, and shed tears together in the chapel. And yet, one among us was lying? Among us. That theory of yours about taking the key out of the handbag and putting it back cast a pronounced suspicion on the cousins, did it not? And despite that, you acted like you didn't even notice, announcing a theory like that so happily. Damn it. That doesn't guarantee that one of the family or the servants is the culprit. If you snuck up on us while hiding in a cardboard box, for example, there's a good chance you could have slunk into our room when we were fast asleep and stolen the key, right? Perhaps that will do for that situation. By suspecting the guest, the 19th person, you won't have to suspect the others. In that case, How is Jessica's room locked? It's no trouble at all for me to open the lock with magic, but of course, I don't have a master key. If you deny my magic, you'll also have to deny that I'm a suspect, correct? So, in other words, that means suspecting one of the 18. Oh yeah, thanks for the help. I've managed to sort things out a bit. My goal is to figure out how the 19th person, the human guest Beatrice, committed the crimes. If I do that, I won't have to suspect anyone. If you can do that? Foolish man. This wasn't a closed room from the beginning. After all, there are a total of 6 keys that can open it. And several people possess such keys. You can suspect any of them. Suspect as much as you like. But you went to all the trouble of denying all of them, making it a closed room yourself. Understand? This is a closed room born from your mental contradiction. You and no one else sealed that door. So you're trying to say that I've got 2 options. Accept that a witch opened it with magic, or accept that someone I know is the culprit. Damn, are you trying to fork the rook? I just wanted to show you that moves such as this can exist as well. So what will you do, ChRoMA Battler? Isn't it actually simple? Don't you just have to make sacrifices of that overly self-confident cook and that hag who wouldn't be a loss if she died? Damn. Okay. Okay. Damn it. If I suspect Goda-san and Kumasawa-san, everything will be fine? That's useless. And I can't think of Goda-san as the culprit. I can't think of Kumasawa-san as the culprit. But I won't accept you, no matter what. In that case, they'd have to enter the key without using magic or a master key, kill Jessica and Kanon, and even erase Kanon's corpse without using magic. How could it be done? How could it be done so that you can deny me, while still not suspecting anyone else? When she does her own little cackle, I'm just gonna let her take it over. It's so much. I resign. Huh? Battler-kun, what did you say? I give up. I was able to prove that Kanon-kun couldn't have locked this door. But that doesn't mean I've managed to figure out who killed Jessica.
No, that's more than enough. For Kanon-kun's sake, thank you very much.
No need to thank me. After all, this means you're under suspicion too, Shanan-chan. And sorry, Aunt Rosa. It's not like I wanted to resist you. I don't want to die, and I want to find Dad and the rest's true enemy. Sorry for saying something that wasn't cooperative.
No, it's okay. I was also a little rash. Let's make up.
As an aunt and a nephew, we have to stay on good terms. Right? Ooh. Ugh. Rosa shifted the gun to one hand and held out her other. I reached out, and for the time being, we shook hands. Aunt Rosa's gaze was sharp. In order to deny the witch, she would sacrifice anyone. That's what her eyes told me. And me? I denied the witch, but I wasn't prepared to lose anything. I was probably the one who seemed to be fighting the most, and yet the one who was most separated from reality. Oof. Oh god, oh god, scary. With Jessica's death, it became certain that the culprit was hiding somewhere nearby, and that they'd come for our lives if they had a chance. According to Genji-san, when tomorrow morning comes, the boat should arrive. The boat had a radio. We'd probably be able to contact the police directly with that. All of us gathered in the parlor and decided to wait quietly until tomorrow. I proposed that we should search throughout the mansion for clues about the culprit, but Aunt Rosa rejected that, saying that if we managed to corner the culprit, or maybe provoke them, it might lead to a third murder. That was probably the right thing to do. If a bunch of amateurs like us investigated, there's no way we'd find anything. It would be wisest to focus on protecting ourselves without doing anything unnecessary, and leave it to the police starting tomorrow. We'd been tense at the beginning, but other than Aunt Rosa, most of us had spent all morning watching TV and getting bored, so our sense of danger had faded considerably. When we thought about it, yes, 6 adults certainly had been killed together in the first murder, but that made it seem like some backhanded method, like poison, had been used. And for the second murder, we figured those 2 became sacrifices because they'd been unfortunately isolated from the rest of us. From this, it was possible to imagine that the culprit wasn't a large number of adults, and that they wouldn't be capable of killing this large group gathered in the parlor all at once. Right now, in this parlor, there's George Ainiki and me, Maria, Aunt Rosa, Genji-san, Goda-san, Chanon-san, Kumasawa-san, and then Dr. Nanjo, for a total of 9 people. Furthermore, Aunt Rosa was even armed with a gun. Surely, with this many people staying in this room, they wouldn't be able to touch us easily. That feeling of security, along with the passage of time, allowed us to recover from the shock of that morning bit by bit. By the way, lunchtime had just ended for us. However, it had been a canned food lunch, a far cry from the dinner last night that Goda-san had skillfully made for us. Aunt Rosa also suspected that poison may have been used in the first murder, so we probably couldn't deny the possibility that the culprit had snuck into the kitchen during all that confusion in the morning and mixed poison in with the ingredients there. Aunt Rosa gave orders to us all saying that until the police came, we mustn't put anything into our mouths except safe things like canned food. As a cook, Goda-san must have felt very let down. Apparently eager to display his skill anyway, he said he at least wanted to grab some plates and arrange the canned food on them. At first, Aunt Rosa had been reluctant, examining each of the plates that were brought, but she hadn't been able to find anything to complain about, and Goda's chef-pick canned food lunch combo was born. Goda-san said something about taste being savored, not just with the tongue, but with the eyes as well. I see, it's the same canned food we ate for breakfast, but it feels like something completely different.
Ooh, that there. Look. This is the wolves and sheep puzzle. Ooh.
As I was sitting lazily on the sofa with no desire to watch TV, Maria came over, pulled a picture book out of her handbag and held it out to me. What's that book? Wolves and Sheep Puzzle? Let's see. Wolves and Sheep Puzzle. It was a phrase that Aunt Rosa had said this morning when we'd gone to call on Jessica. At the time, I hadn't known what it meant, and right after that was the uproar when Jessica's corpse was found, so I'd forgotten about it completely. The book that Maria held out to me looked like a foreign picture book or something that had been translated. When I opened it, I realized that it was a book stuffed with riddles.
Ooh, so you have a few wolves and a few sheep, okay? The puzzle is how you take them to the other side using one boat.
I've heard of... I can't see. I'm blinded. I've heard of games with rules like that. So this is a version with wolves and sheep? It was a very simple puzzle, passed on from long ago. Let's try posing a question. On the right bank, there are 2 wolves and 2 sheep. There's a boat that as many as 2 animals can ride on, and using it, you have to move all 4 of them to the opposite left bank. That's the puzzle. There are 2 rules. The first is regarding the boat. Even a single wolf or a single sheep can paddle it, but it can only hold 2 animals. The second rule is regarding the wolves. When they are greater in number than the sheep in any location, they attack the sheep and it's game over. For example, at the start of the game, let's say the 2 sheep get in the boat and go to the other side. Then 1 sheep gets off and the other goes back to the first bank. When it does, there are 2 wolves on the first bank, and a single sheep returns there. When that happens, the number of wolves is greater, so the sheep is attacked and it's game over. On either bank, or even the boat, there must never be more wolves than sheep, and you've got to shuffle them all across under these conditions. By the way, the right answer is to move both wolves to the opposite bank in the first turn. Then 1 wolf comes back. On the second turn, you move 2 sheep to the opposite bank. Then 1 wolf comes back. Then on the third turn, you put that last wolf that was on the right bank on the boat and cross to the opposite bank, and congratulations, transport successful. Thanks for giving me the fucking answer to this riddle that I would not have been able to solve. Funny. Anyways. Partway, there may be the same number of wolves and sheep in the boat or on either side, but that isn't a problem. You only lose when the number of wolves is greater. This book uses wolves and sheep as an example, but lots of people probably know of this game using different characters. It looked like Maria wanted to test whether I too could solve the puzzles she knew how to solve, and she kept showing me different pages, saying, "Solve this one," and "This one's hard." So what was happening when Aunt Rosa first mentioned this puzzle? That's right. When we decided to go and get Jessica, we talked about how many men should go, and Aunt Rosa mentioned the wolves and sheep puzzle, saying we should all go together. Wait a sec. That could only mean one thing. Aunt Rosa was saying that there is a wolf among us. So she was thinking that we'd be safe if the number of wolves and sheep was in balance, but that the wolves would bare their fangs if the situation changed. At the time we found our parents' corpses, Aunt Rosa already suspected that the servants might be wolves. She'd sniffed out the possibility that, while she didn't know whether it was all of them or some of them, there were wolves hiding among them. That's no surprise. That murder scene was very elaborate. It's easy to imagine that there were multiple culprits. And because she'd reached that conclusion, when we went to Jessica's room and learned that Jessica had been killed after being alone with a servant, Kanon, it isn't hard to imagine why Aunt Rosa suspected the servant so persistently.
You servants, Goda-san is going to the kitchen to clean the dishes. Just in case, would you please all go with him?
My apologies, everyone. Let us go as a group. Shannon, Kumasawa, we are going. Yes, coming.
Well then, George-san, excuse me for now.
Yes. Take care. Aunt Rosa, could I go as well?
I'm sorry, but would you remain here, George-kun? There's something I want to talk to you about.
Is that so? Sorry, Shannon. Anyway, take care. Don't be alone.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Dr. Nancho. I wanted to consult you about something. Yes, what could that be? The servants put the dishes and empty cans on the serving cart and started to head out into the corridor. Behind them, Aunt Rosa was talking to Dr. Nanjo about something in a small voice. Ugh. My nose. It's not happy today. Understood. I will go.
Yes, I'm counting on you.
Dr. Nanjo closed the book he had been reading, rose from the sofa, and followed after the servants. Damn, okay, Rosa. Aunt Rosa stuck her head out into the hallway, and after seeing they were completely out of sight, she closed the door and spoke.
Listen up, everyone. With that, everyone here is an Ushiramiya.
Yes, that's true. So you're saying that you've chased out all of the wolves, Aunt Rosa? With that one sentence, Aunt Rosa's gaze grew sharp. Apparently, she had picked up on the sarcasm. She laughed lightly.
Your mind sure works fast, Battler-kun.
I like clever kids. It means there's less to explain.
Ooh, Battler's smart. Can you solve this? Page 64 is hard. Ooh.
Maria, go watch TV for a bit. Mama wants to talk with Battler-kun and George-kun.
Ooh.
Aunt Rosa, I heard about the puzzle from Battler-kun. I don't think it's wrong to be on our guards, but I also think there's such a thing as being too suspicious. Whether the real culprit is Beatrice or not, there is reason for us to suspect that the servants are in on it. In the first murder, where Nissan and the others were killed, they were treated very brutally, right? Did that look like something that could have been done alone? Maybe the mystery guest Beatrice-sama worked all night and did it all. And what about the master key and the door to Jessica's room? Isn't that proof that one of the servants was involved? Only the master key could have locked the door to Jessica's room. So we can only suppose that one of the servants did it. No, wait. Spin the chessboard around. That's strange, Aunt Rosa. After killing Jessica, why would the culprit go to all the trouble of locking the door? The fact that it was locked made it inevitable that the owners of the master keys would be suspected. There was no reason for them to go to all the trouble of locking the door. But that's right. It's just as Battler-kun says. There's no need for them to go to all of the trouble of making themselves look suspicious.
Yes, that's an interesting thought. Of course, I also thought that. If that's the case, then the person who locked it wanted to cast suspicion on the servants and locked it without a master key. But that's impossible, right?
That's right. If there existed some trick that could lock that door without a master key, that would make this a great disguise for casting doubt on the servants. If the culprit's goal was for us to isolate ourselves from the group so they could attack us one by one, this trick would also be effective at giving rise to paranoia. But there was no way to lock that door without using a master key.
How can you be sure there's no way to lock that door without a master key? Isn't that a devil's proof like Rudolph Nissan was talking about earlier? Maybe it was locked by some method we can't think of. Even if we can't think of a way, we can't deny the possibility of some unknown trick being used.
That's true too, I guess. So is that it? No smoke without fire again?
I don't know the practical details of the trick, but I have a general idea. My apologies, but if we make the assumption that Kanon-kun was the culprit, it could be explained extremely easily, even as to why there was no corpse.
Huh? But Kanon-kun didn't have a master key, right? Putting aside the other servants, at least Kanon-kun shouldn't have been able to lock the door. I see. So that's why you told us to search in the closet and everywhere else right after we entered Jessica's room. Aunt Rosa, your mind works faster than I would have guessed from how you normally act. The brain speed of a little sister is always the big sister minus 1. Oh my god. Oh my god, Rosa. When you hate yourself a lot. God.
Right now, there's no one I need to worry about offending, which is certainly a relief.
George Aniki realized she was referring to Aunt Ava, and seemed a little uncertain about how he should take that as sarcasm. I'm sorry? Could you explain it so even I can understand? Kanon-kun's master key was in Jessica-chan's pocket, closed up inside a closed room. After the door was locked, it should have been impossible to put it in her pocket from outside the room, no matter what trick he used. That's not it, Aniki. If it was done the way Aunt Rose is thinking of, this trick could only be used by Kanon-kun. Plus, the door could be locked without using a key, while the master key was still in Jessica's pocket. And it would also result in his corpse disappearing. How? How could he lock the door without a key?
It's simple. George-kun, when you return home, you lock the door, right? You twist the knob, click, and you're done, right?
Huh? Could it be? No, but Kanon-kun was nowhere to be found. It looks like you've got it, Aniki. That's what Aunt Rosa was searching the room for. She was searching for Kanon-kun, who had locked the door from the inside and stuck the key in Jessica's pocket, before hiding somewhere, waiting for us to walk right past him. It was the simplest kind of closed room trick. It meant him hiding inside the closed room after the murder was committed. Then, all he had to do was get out after those who discovered the body left, and the closed room murder would work perfectly. God, I'm also just thinking about, like, the Danganronpa ones, where it's like, you kill, and then you hide there, and then, like, you like, act like you're also coming into the room with everyone at once, like, oh shit, oh my god, I discovered this, wow! And just meeting up with everyone else, as if nothing had happened. God. Do I hate mystery things? I don't think so. Maybe.
When we searched that room, we didn't find anything. But for all we know, that room might have had a hidden passage that only the servants know about.
We know that's not true, though.
We don't know where such a thing might have been hidden. But if we assume there was such a passage, we can conclude that it was impossible for everyone but him.
Well, about that line of reasoning. I thought of that too at the very beginning. It's the kind of reasoning I hate most, so I wanted to destroy it right at the start. Kanon was killed in this room, right? You apparently suspected that Kanon was the culprit, so you made me repeat this to destroy that possibility right off the bat. Yes, I understand. So, this is what I thought next. I made a theory where there were actually 3 people in that room. Jessica and Kanon-kun were victims, and the culprit, the guest Beatrice, was also there with them. You wanted to make it the human me who committed the crime without using magic. I see, a bizarre theory that suits you perfectly. She thinks he's so cute. I guess that you killed those 2, then locked the door from the inside. And that you carried Kanon-kun's corpse away using some secret method that normal people wouldn't notice. In other words, you used a secret door to escape. But you told me it in red. You said no kind of hidden door existed in that room. Huh, but what if it's not a hidden door? What if it's a fucking hidden window? Did you think about that? Did you think about that, Battler? Maybe it was a secret window. Not a door, a window or some shit. You know. Beatrice talks in weird ways to hide the fucking truth. What about a secret window? How about that? How about that? Indeed. There can exist no secret passages that you all are not aware of. Was it Knox who said it, or was it Van Dyne? It seems that in mystery novels, there must never be hidden passages. I simply followed that etiquette. So even without having to thoroughly search the room, a famous detective could conclude that no secret passages exist. Humans playing detective have it so easy. Damn you, talking so big. Thanks. Thanks to the mighty witch being so diplomatic, I get to conclude that the room has no hidden doors without searching the whole thing. Indeed, there are no hidden doors in this room. There is no way to get in or out other than the door and the windows. Which means that the theory Aunt Rosa is so confident in is wrong. Also, annoyingly, it's impossible to disprove her theory. If you, the witch, say there are no hidden doors in red, then it's settled. However, no matter how much a human like me tries to argue against her, Aunt Rosa probably won't accept it. Humans can't prove there's no hidden door. It's a devil's proof. Damn. It sure is convenient being a witch. No way! To call Kanon-kun the culprit because of a hidden door we don't even know exists? I can't accept that. If you can't accept it, then find me a different theory that's more convincing. There is none. I've been thinking this whole time. There's no other option. George-kun, you and Shannon-chan are close, right? I imagine that's why you find it so hard to accept that all of the servants are culprits. Even I don't want to believe that Shannon-chan is in league with the culprit. But whether they're all in it together or not, there's definitely a culprit, or maybe an accomplice in that group. That point alone is something you'd absolutely need to understand. If you guess there were wolves besides Kanon-kun, does that mean the uproar you caused by accusing Kanon-kun in Jessica's room was just to gauge the reaction of the other servants? Yes, that's right. And as a result, I begin to suspect them even more. There certainly is a wolf among the servants. Certainly. And, just like in the wolves and sheep puzzle, while they may be docile most of the time, they'll surely attack if they get the chance. Jessica-chan was a lone sheep on the boat. In Maria's version of the puzzle, they may not attack when there's an equal number of... In Maria's version of the puzzle, they may not attack when there's an equal number of wolves and sheep, but our puzzle is different. Depending on the situation and the number of people, they'll attack even if there is a balance. Just like when Jessica-chan was killed. Then there's something that makes me mad. If that's true, then when you made Shannon go to the kitchen, you put her in a dangerous situation, didn't you? We should go to the kitchen right now, too. No matter who may or may not be a wolf, if staying together means we remain in balance, I think we should keep it that way. Shannon-chan went to see father along with Genji-san. At that time, she was supposedly isolated, but she wasn't killed. Was it because Genji-san wasn't a wolf either? Wrong. It's because they were both wolves. Shannon isn't the kind of person who would take part in a crime. I can't let a comment like that slide, not even from you, Aunt Rosa. I demand that you take back what you just said. I hate saying this in front of Aniki, but the way you're arguing feels just like something Aunt Ava would say. It's like you're automatically assuming that you're right, unless we can counter your argument. Looks like you can't fight against your own blood after all, Aunt Rosa. Even if I can't think of myself as very praiseworthy right now. But guess what? I'm a mother. I'd become even a demon to protect Maria's safety. I really wish I could shut myself away somewhere alone with her. But I also plan to act as a mother to you two. Right now, you're practically my children. Even if you aren't my own, I won't forsake you. No matter what. Well, thanks for that. I just wanted to warn you not to be careless as your mother. Stay where I can see you at all times. I will protect you. And at the same time, you'll be observing us to make sure we aren't wolves. Yeah, thanks a lot for that. Can you, Aunt Rosa, prove that you aren't a wolf yourself? Yes, I can. That's a quick answer. How? With this. This is my proof. Aunt Rosa lifted her gun and pointed the barrel at me. Don't point guns at the children. Don't point guns at children? Hello? What? No. Hello? Rosa? What the fuck? This is my proof, bitch. Points gun. You think I'm a wolf? You think a wolf can carry this gun, bitch? Aunt Rosa lifted her gun and pointed the barrel at me. But it was only for an instant. She immediately lowered the gun, laughing impishly. But to me, the time I spent staring down the barrel of that gun felt like an eternity. How does that gun prove you aren't the culprit, Aunt Rosa? Think about it. What if I were the culprit? Would I really give up the once-in-a-lifetime chance I got when the servants left? I could just shoot you, bang, and think of a fitting excuse later. Something like, Beatrice appeared outside the window and started shooting at us. I just need to leave 2 empty cartridges on the ground and say I fired back at her twice. Well, that's a crazily violent way to argue it, but it does make sense. There's something Kraus-san used to say all the time long ago. Might is right. Maybe that really is true. I'm sorry, you two. I've somewhat lost my composure after all the crimes since this morning. You know how I normally am, so I must seem desperate and a bit short-tempered right now. But please understand, I want to protect you from a malicious culprit. I will become a demon to do that. That's all there is to it. I'm sorry for saying something that's angered you. Battler-kun, George-kun. Let's make up. An unsatisfied expression rose to George Aniki's face. He probably couldn't forgive the damage done to Shannon's honor. What about me? Several bits of circumstantial evidence hinted at the servants' participation. I didn't want to believe that one of them was the culprit, or possibly colluding with the culprit. But in our current situation, that was little more than wishful thinking. Whom should I believe? In the first place, who is the culprit? Are there accomplices? And if so, how many? It seems I've only been suspecting the people we know. I quickly forgot that 19th person, the guest Beatrice, who arrived yesterday and boldly claimed to be the Golden Witch. In fact, I still haven't seen her face. I heard she greatly resembled the witch in that portrait. But since I haven't seen her directly, no matter how hard I try, it doesn't really feel to me like a 19th person is on this island. So I've been subconsciously hallucinating that the culprit's one of the 18. Damn it. Come out, Beatrice. If you're the bad guy, then act like the bad guy and show yourself, laughing in a high-pitched voice and mocking us. Just like a bad guy in one of those dramas who, when they're exposed as the culprit, aggressively says, "Where's your proof?" She thinks it's really, really funny. Where's your proof? Shut up. No more talking. Oh my god. Beatrice just... Where's your proof? You stupid bitch! You dumbass motherfucker! Where's your proof? Who says that? That's what Beatrice said. And he said, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. Don't question my monologue. Don't question my monologue, shut up. I'm just thinking. There were 5 humans in the kitchen, but it was very quiet, filled only with the sound of the rain. I'm like doing this, but I'm like, I think I should take a short. Oh. Oh. This is so fucking bad to look at. Servant Kanon. There's no corpse. And yet he's dead. The witch said so in red. So he definitely is dead, even though there's no corpse. Oof. Yeah, let's not look at that anymore. Haha. Okay. Yeah, let's take a quick 10-minute break while I drink some water and take a little walk. Yeah, 10 minutes sounds about right. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay. Well, let's get back into it. Sorry that break went a while. My stomach was not happy. Okay. There were 5 humans in the kitchen, but it was very quiet, filled only with the sound of the rain. It was only accented by the sound of Shannon and Kumasawa washing the dishes. Goda was using the leftovers from breakfast and lunch as ingredients for a soup. Rosa had suspected that poison might have been added to the food, so they decided to eat canned goods, but it hadn't been too satisfying. Goda thought she was being too cautious, so he was spontaneously creating a soup to be served only to those who wanted some. Shannon and Kumasawa were washing the dishes that the food had been arranged on. On the inside, they thought maybe Goda should wash them, since he'd been the one who wanted the food arranged on plates in the first place. But they left their complaints unsaid for the time being. Genji and Nanjo were facing each other across a crude chess set that had many years of experience. The game had still only just begun, and because the opening game of these experienced players had been honed to perfection, it looked like a ceremony where they just moved specified pieces in a specified order. That's a nice aroma. You wouldn't get this from canned food. It was made only from sealed ingredients, so there won't be any poison mixed in. I am making enough for everybody, so please eat. Of course, I will also taste for poison. Please feel secure and eat.
That really is a nice aroma. Goda-san, the food you cook is really delicious.
Being able to create a delicious food when you buy delicious ingredients is hardly special. My master taught me that a true cook needs to perfect their ability to make delicious food from whatever is on hand. That was a good master. Thanks to him, it looks like we'll get to enjoy some truly delicious soup. And although it is a shame that it was made from ingredients intended for all of the family members to eat. I'm sure Rosa-san is tired after everything that happened this morning. It is only natural. But thanks to that, we get to drink some soup made from delicious ingredients. Ho ho ho. Rosa had fervently warned everyone that they didn't understand the danger they were in, and that they must assume that poison was mixed in with the food. The mood at the time had led them to agree, but hunger wasn't something that could be swayed by a momentary emotion like that. Ironically, we've ended up with a soup that we normally wouldn't be able to savor. If possible, I would like to serve it to everyone in the parlor, but seeing that it would violate Rosa-sama's instructions, you had best give up on that idea. It's enough that only those who want to eat it do so. Oh, skillfully taking a breather when no one is looking. When no one's looking is also an important skill for a servant, isn't it? When Kumasawa cackled, Shannon and Goda laughed too. It seemed that, in the space where only their fellow servants were gathered, they could relax quite a bit. Shannon didn't like Goda's occasional dishonesty, but she knew that there was no falsehood in his childish smile when he cooked, nor in his desire for people to enjoy his food. So even though it was a little aggravating to be made to wash the dishes, she couldn't really hate him. However, they couldn't have dreamed that Rosa was calling them wolves in the parlor at exactly the same moment they were spending their time peacefully like this. At that time, several of the servants heard a sound like something being dragged, and then a thump. It seemed like the sound made by a servant outside the back door when they were carrying a mountain of trash bags on a rainy day, or maybe when a servant was returning from work wearing a raincoat. So at first, that sound didn't seem like anything out of the ordinary to any of them, but they soon realized. Right now, everyone was either in the kitchen or in the parlor, so who could possibly be at the back door? As the servants all looked at each other, they checked to make sure that each of them knew what that sound meant. Who could it be? The servants knew the mansion's layout well, so they understood how incomprehensible it would be for someone from the parlor to actually go outside in this typhoon, go all the way around, and come up to this back door. Then, was it Kinzo? They couldn't imagine that Kinzo, who never left his study, would dash out into the middle of this typhoon and come to the back of the house where only low-class people ever entered or exited.
That wasn't our imagination, was it? Oh, wah, 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 wah.
Shannon and Kumasawa drew close together, fearfully looking at the back door. Who is it? As Goda fearfully approached the back door, he called out, and his eyes flashed towards the butcher's knife that sat in a nearby sink. He didn't pick it up yet, because there was still a possibility that this was a member of the family. However, that possibility was impossible. There was no response from across the door to Goda's initial question. Maybe his voice had been so quiet that it hadn't reached through all the wind and rain outside. Genji-san. Yes. Stand back, Dr. Nanjo and the women. It's Dr. Nanjo and the women. Funny. Weird band name. Who in the world could it be? Genji took a knife with a classical design from a stationery box placed near the chess set. It was something to be used instead of a paper knife to open envelopes for statements of delivery and bills. But it was still a knife, so the blade on it could injure someone. Genji hid it in his sleeve with a well-practiced motion. Then, he approached the back door himself, giving Goda a silent nod. Goda cautiously approached the back door, and slowly started to open it. Wah! The shadow of a person suddenly shuffled into sight, landed on its knees, and fell over. Goda fell backwards onto his backside and couldn't get up. That human shadow was soaked with rain, smeared with mud, and drenched with blood.
Kanon-kun! Kanon-kun!
Kanon, are you all right? Dr. Nanjo. It was Kanon. His breath was feeble, and the puddles of mud he left were quickly drenched bright red. When Nanjo held him and turned him face up, There was a deep, gruesome wound right in the center of his chest, as though he'd been stabbed there by a spear or something. Even now, deep red blood poured out from there.
This is horrible. What shall we do? Get a first aid kit? A first aid kit?
Kanon-kun, place your hand against the wound. Please, push firmly. Let's carry him to the bed in the servant room. Everyone, please, lend a hand. Come now, Kanon-san. Please, hang in there a little longer.
Hang in there? It'll be okay. So don't take your hand from the wound.
At any rate, let us carry him to the servant room. Kumasawa, inform Rosa-sama that we have found Kanon.
Wait, not Rosa-sama.
Wait, no, that's someone. Please wait. Kanon-san said not Rosa-sama.
What do you mean, Kanon-kun?
This is no time for that. Let us quickly carry him to the servant room. Kumasawa, do not tell Rosa-sama yet. We will do it after we hear the situation from Kanon.
Yes,
He had told them not to tell Rosa, right after appearing in this state. This could only mean something very disquieting. An eerie anxiety rose to their faces. Come now, everyone. Let's hurry and carry him. Quickly, quickly. Kanon's wound was unbelievably deep, and judging from Nanjo's pale face, it was a miracle that he was still conscious. This is horrible. He appears to have been stabbed by something like a spear. If it hasn't reached the lungs, I might be able to do something. At any rate, we must stop the bleeding.
Gah!
No matter how much Nanjo tried to wipe off that gushing, deep red blood, he couldn't do it. He couldn't do it. He couldn't wipe it all away. And each time, the wound was aggravated, causing Kanon to cry in anguish.
Kanon-kun, Kanon-kun, Kanon-kun! Hang in there! Hang in there!
Dr. Nanjo, here's a new towel. How horrible. What is his condition? In all honesty, this is so severe that I cannot believe he is alive. Maybe the location of the wound was fortunate, but the blood loss is too horrible. A blood transfusion is necessary, but that will be impossible until tomorrow. Rosa-sama, to us.
Don't tell Kanon-kun. Your wound will open.
Rosa-sama came to Milady and me and... What did you say?
Rosa-sama did. Oh, could that mean?
Are you certain?
Yes, I'm certain it was Rosa-sama.
Come now, don't speak anymore. Kumasawa-san, please grab another first aid kit. Genji-san, is it possible Rosa-sama did such a thing? I do not know. Disregarding Nanjo and Kumasawa, who were struggling hard and stained with blood as they tried to stop the bleeding, Genji and Goda faced each other. Because if what Kanon had said was the truth, Rosa was the culprit who killed Jessica. Curse you, Rosa. How could you do that to Milady? I'll kill you. I will kill you! Ugh! Kanon screamed even more hatefully. His hate-filled voice made it seem like he was seeing Jessica being harmed right before his eyes. Certainly Rosa-sama may have had a reason to kill Milady. If everyone in the Ushiromiya family were destroyed, the inheritance would all go to Rosa-sama. If so, Battler-sama and George-sama are in danger. Not only is Rosa-sama holding a gun, but right now, they are the only ones in the lounge. Genji-san, isn't this situation quite perilous? God, can you imagine? Like, she brings up, oh, it's like the wolf and sheep problem. And then everyone's like, oh, God, oh, she must be one of the sheep. And she's just like, haha, no, I'm the wolf. lmao. Oh, God. There's no way it's that simple, though. Genji-san, isn't the situation quite perilous? Shannon suddenly ran out into the corridor. Her expression was complex and tragic, as though she didn't know what to believe. Oh God. Shannon ran. To where? The inside of the mansion had been scrupulously cleaned, so it probably wouldn't be easy to find. She might find it if she searched the rose garden, but they'd probably all been lost in this wind and rain. That's right, the boiler room isn't cleaned very often. If she went there, she might be able to find it. Shannon ran downstairs to find that in the underground boiler room. Hello? Did some medicine take effect at the brink of death? Or was Kanon finally beyond feeling pain? For the time being, at least Kanon's painful gasping had subsided. Nanjo apparently didn't view this as a very good sign, and he didn't let his eyes off Kanon for a second. Kumasawa firmly gripped Kanon's hand and kept encouraging him, so that the willpower keeping him alive didn't fade away. Genji and Goda seemed uncertain on how to respond to the truth Kanon had risked his life to deliver. Rosa-sama's gun surely has 4 or 5 shots loaded. That is no small number, but loading cartridges into a Winchester should require a lot of practice. She might be able to get 1 shot off, but if everyone attacks her at once, we should be able to take the gun from her before she shoots again. We may have a doctor on this island, but we have no access to medicine and no hospital. If the location of the shot is bad, that person will die. I understand that, but more importantly, if we don't move quickly, there's a chance another crime will occur. It seems to me that Rosa-sama managed to cleverly chase us out. Maybe George-sama and Battler-sama are being killed right now. Oh, if our foe is so dangerous, wouldn't it be better if we didn't provoke them too much? But tomorrow is still a long way off. We can't even imagine what strategies she might use. Genji-san, we should take action first. If we can at least steal the gun under some pretext, it might work out. There are 4 or 5 cartridges, are there not? That means there aren't enough to kill all of us. As long as we don't carelessly provoke her, surely even Rosa-sama wouldn't be that rash. No, she said it. She said she'll massacre all of us. Oh, I guess that's Kanon. Oops. Kanon, who they thought was sleeping quietly, suddenly started talking brightly. Almost as though he'd been awake this whole time, and had suddenly opened his mouth. Kanon looked firm and steady, which relieved Nanjo a bit. But considering the depth of that wound, he couldn't wipe away a certain creepy feeling. He knew because he was a doctor. After losing so much blood, Kanon might easily have lost consciousness. And yet, somehow, he was still intensely aware of his surroundings. Was it youth? Or was it tenacity? Sometimes the power of human life surpassed common knowledge. While stopping the bleeding, Nanjo had groped around a bit inside the bleeding hole with tweezers, making sure there were no foreign objects inside the affected area, and the great depth of the wound had shocked him. It had certainly reached as far as his lungs. And yet, no, but the fact that he's still alive is wonderful. But Kanon had spoken clearly. He'd hatefully stated that the one named Rosa made this wound, cursing and raging over and over. Oh. Oh. Uh-oh. 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 Damn. So this is what she means by disrespecting the dead. Uh-huh. So this is what she means by disrespecting the dead. Ah, yes, I see. Oh God. She wants to kill everyone by any means necessary before the typhoon passes, so that she can have the master's wealth all to herself. She told me that clearly. Damn, what a person. Genji-san, what should we do? Are there any weapons we can... I find it hard to believe. To think that Rosa-sama would say something like that. Genji-sama, it isn't a question of whether you believe or not. She told me. I heard it. Why won't you believe me? Don't get up. You'll harm your wound. Kanon sat up on the bed, speaking to Genji, who didn't seem to be willing to believe Kanon's story. She'll definitely kill all of us. She must have killed everyone in the parlor by now. If we don't kill her first, we'll definitely be killed first. Just like how I was killed first. Everyone else will also be killed first. Kill or be killed. Kill or be killed. Or kill or be killed. Kanon-san, does that really not hurt? Oh, this? This is nothing. What do you mean it's nothing? It really isn't a big deal. It doesn't even hurt anymore. It's really nothing. As Kanon said that, he began to untie the bandages that had been painstakingly wrapped. The gruesome hole in his chest was immediately exposed. Kanon-san! You mustn't do that! Lie down, quickly! I said it's fine. Hey, see? This is nothing, right? Kanon showed off his gaping wound, which was still slowly spitting out foamy blood. Everyone averted their eyes reflexively. Look, I told you it wasn't a serious wound at all. Stop! You mustn't play with the wound! Come on, see? It isn't a deep wound at all. Look. Look. Kanon held up 2 fingers, showed them to everyone, and started to stick them into the gruesome wound right in the center of his chest. Plunging, slimy, squishy, wet. The fingers went in deep, all the way to their bases. Squish, goop, bloop. Eek! Come on, son, stop it, stop it! Those fingers were sticking all the way into his chest, up to their bases. And then he slowly pulled them out in exactly the same way. The fingers he pulled out were stained a sticky, solid, deep red color, and there was even a thread hanging. The fingers were covered, up to their bases, in deep red. What in the world? See? It is not a serious wound at all, see? Oh God. Oh God. At that moment, the door was slammed open and Shannon appeared. Oh, well, Kanon's dead, but not really, but, you know how it is. The witch said he was dead, and that he is here and talking to everyone. Yeah, Yeah. Even after she saw Kanon, stained with fresh blood, her impregnable expression didn't falter. Kanon had red eyes, by the way. Hey. Nason. Where'd you go? I'm on the verge of death here, so where'd you go?
That's right. I went to the boiler room. There is something I had to find. More importantly, there's something I need to ask you. Are you really Kanon-kun?
Huh? What? It was only natural. Everyone believed he was Kanon, so they couldn't understand the meaning of Shannon's question. When they looked, they noticed that Shannon was holding a handkerchief in her hand. It was filthy and looked like it had been used to wipe up some trash or dust. And while holding that, she approached Kanon, drawing closer to his feet. What is that?
It's a handkerchief with a spider's web wiped onto it.
Why would you bring something like that?
If you're Kanon-kun, you should be fine. But if spiders are your natural enemy, I thought you might not like it.
Are you kidding? Why would I hate spiders?
Sorry, I'll try it.
Shannon-san! Oh, fuck! When Shannon brought that handkerchief close to Kanon's thigh, something happened in an instant. It happened all at once. The human eye couldn't have followed it. Kanon jumped like a wild goat, fleeing from the thing Shannon was holding. Then, from his arms, some sort of afterglow flashed purple and drew a curve through space. That arc, which drew 3 beautiful purple curves, traced across the throats of Nanjo and Kumasawa, who had been tending to him. And in an instant, Nanjo's and Kumasawa's throats opened like gaping mouths, and then the blood really started spewing out. The 3rd purple curve should have traced across Shannon's throat, but Shannon wasn't there, because Genji, who had been behind her, had wrapped his own arm around Shannon's neck and pulled her back. This all happened in an instant. In the instant it took Goda to think fast in an attempt to understand this scene, the frozen moment in time shattered. Blood was gushing from Nanjo and Kumasawa's torn open necks. Kanon jumped and kicked off a picture frame that had been hanging from the wall behind him, springing forward just like a cat and aiming for Shannon's throat again. But Kanon's target once again disappeared from in front of him, because Genji had pulled Shannon again, and the two of them had fallen to the ground in a defensive crouch. Nice reflexes, you senile old furniture. Goda. Oh! Even Goda was no fool. Even if he couldn't fully understand what was going on, he at least realized that if this Kanon wasn't seized, his own life would also be in peril. He sprung at Kanon with his huge body, pushing him up against the wall with all his weight and physical strength. Oh! Whoa! Let go! Big guy. Another purple curve was drawn from the tips of the fingers on Kanon's right hand. And when he raised that hand like a sword, aiming for Goda's back, there was a loud thunk. Because Kanon's raised hand had been pinned to the wall, he couldn't tear his palm away from the wall. Sticking out from it was the knife Genji had thrown. Under normal circumstances, it would have been surprising to see someone as old as Genji handle a knife so skillfully, but in this abnormal space, no one paid it much mind.
Genji-sama, take this.
Indeed. Genji took the handkerchief with the spiderweb stuck to it from Shannon, and he approached Kanon, who was pinned to the wall by Goda's massive body and the knife.
Stop it! Keep that away from me! Stop it! Stop! Ah!
When Genji pushed the handkerchief up against Kanon's face, there was a sound just like setting meat on a red-hot iron plate. Of course, the smell was the same too, as he was horribly burned, festering in filthy red and black, crying out in his death throes. Kanon's body burst open and scattered. It was almost as though a balloon filled with gold leaf had popped. The entire servant room was completely buried under a storm of gold leaf. No, a cloud of gold butterflies. Those butterflies began to softly fade, as though into water, or rather into the empty air itself. And afterwards, all that was left was the 3 survivors sitting on their butts, stained with blood. However, not everyone was merely stained with blood. Some of them were lying on the ground, spurting out blood themselves. Kumasawa! Dr. Nanjo! Slits so sharp they looked like they'd cut your finger if you touched them, opened wide, and large amounts of blood kept pouring out. What was that just now? Goda, have you been injured? I am fine, but what did we just see? What happened? I know I pushed that thing against the wall with my own hand, but even I cannot understand what happened. Goda looked at his own hand. The bright red blood left from his scuffle with Kanon definitely remained, and yet Kanon was nowhere to be seen, because he had disappeared. He had transformed into gold butterflies and scattered. Goda kept screaming alone, without a clue about what was going on. Shannon sobbed in front of Nanjo's and Kumasawa's remains, as Genji watched over her, silent as always. What? Oh god. Oh god. What? Okay. Oh shit. Died in the servant room, his throat sliced open by a sharp blade or something similar. However, this alone isn't enough. Died in the servant room, her throat sliced open by a sharp blade or something similar. The finishing touches are yet to come. Oh god, they've got to get staked still. God. So this is what she... Oh. Yeah. And Jessica. This is what she means by disrespecting the dead. Oh my god, she was not fucking around. Oh my god. She said, hehehehe. You know what would really disrespect the dead? You know what would really fuck them over? If I had a fucking demon pretend to be Kanon and take his body and attack his friends. Kill people. Could you imagine? Wild. What the fuck? What the fuck? What? Anyways, now that I've had my initial reaction of freaking out and going, are you fucking serious? I can gladly continue. Dr. Nanjo and Kumasawa-san were... What on earth are you talking about? Shannon, thank goodness you're safe. If something had happened to you, I...
George-sama. Ooh. George-kun, be quiet for a second. A murder occurred before your very eyes, right? Did you see the culprit? Or not?
That is, how should I explain? Genji-san. Even we cannot adequately explain what happened in front of us. It certainly, happened right before our eyes. It was right in front of my eyes. However, it was, what was it? Even I don't understand.
What are you saying? You couldn't have met anyone except the witch, Beatrice, whose location has been unknown since yesterday, or Kanon-kun, who's gone missing. Was it a man or a woman? You should be able to tell me at least that much, right? Aunt Rosa, calm down a bit. Anyone would be confused if two people were taken out right in front of them. Soda-san, Genji-san, there's no need to rush. Tell us what happened, one thing at a time. As to that, how should I say it? Dr. Nanjo and Kumasawa-san had been killed. We understood that much, and it seemed that it had occurred in front of these people's eyes. But even so, they spoke awkwardly. They admitted that they had definitely seen the crime with their own eyes, but when asked to explain what they had seen, their mouths suddenly shut. I could understand why Aunt Rosa was irritated and flaring up. Shannon, did you see it when Dr. Nanjo was attacked? Yes.
Tell me, just what you understand. What in the world happened?
Someone came to the back door.
That's right. Someone came up to the back door. Then, wondering who it was, I opened the door. Someone at the back door? Who was it? Let them finish. And after that, that person was stained with blood and had a large wound. We carried that person to the servant room, and Dr. Nanjo immediately began first aid. It was a very deep wound. Like I said, who are you talking about? I don't know. Certainly in the beginning I thought that was the case. No, I still think that. But what in the world was that? I don't know. I don't know. In a manner that didn't match his large body, Goda held his head and scratched at it. I didn't have a clue if he was confused because he couldn't remember, or because he'd seen something terrifying and couldn't accept it. And Shannon looked the same way. If she let her guard down, what she'd seen just a short while ago would quickly melt away like a daydream, and she wouldn't be able to remember anything. That's what she looked like. Only Genji looked composed as usual. So the questions were naturally directed at him. However, even Genji took quite some time before he spoke, and he had to gather his thoughts. Genji-san, you saw it, right? Who came in through the back door? At first, we believed that person was Kanon. You see? He was alive after all! My theory was correct! By at first, you mean that your impression changed later, right? Yes. I cannot explain with words what happened after that. He killed Dr. Nanjo and Kumasawa, then disappeared. At that time, he was definitely not Kanon. Yes, that's right. It's just as Genji-san says. You really couldn't explain it with words. Do you have the same opinion?
Yes. I can only say the same thing.
If we give their claims the benefit of the doubt, it means that Aunt Rosa's first conclusion was correct. Kanon had appeared near the back door to the kitchen with a serious injury. Then, he had been taken to the servant room and cared for. And after that, something terrifying had happened. So were these people so convinced that Kanon-kun couldn't possibly have done such a thing, that they'd started to suspect whether it had even been Kanon-kun at all? In other words, that means Kanon-kun did appear. No matter how confused they are, no matter how they muddle their words, that's what it means in the end. So does that mean that, after all, Kanon-kun used some trick to escape that room even though it was locked? No, that doesn't matter anymore. The real problem is that Dr. Nanjo and Kumasawa-san were killed. Aunt Rosa has claimed that Kanon-kun was behind this from the very beginning. No matter how confused these people are, no matter how much they try to deny it, they're halfway confirming that she was right. But even so, for some reason, I felt like their awkwardness couldn't be explained by confusion alone. What did they see? Like they said, did they really see something that couldn't be explained with words? Aunt Rosa, who decided that further talk wouldn't get us anywhere, concluded her questioning and said she wanted to check the two bodies. That was something I'd been wanting to do too. The witnesses had been unable to figure anything out, but they'd been shaken. If those of us who hadn't been at the scene calmly looked at the corpses, we might find something. But it was a little surprising to learn that Aunt Rosa was also concerned about the bodies. Even at this point, I still wanted to use any clues I could find to expose the culprit and the truth myself. But it should have been different in Aunt Rosa's case. Hasn't Aunt Rosa prioritized staying safe over finding the culprit? I couldn't really see why she would go to all the trouble of leaving our barricade in the parlor just because she wanted to check the bodies. We will all go to the servant room together. If we all move together, it'll be safe. Maria, stop playing with scribbles.
Ooh, not scribbles. I'm solving Beatrice's puzzle. Ooh.
Beatrice's puzzle? What's that? Show me too. Aunt Rosa, are you, bringing Maria-chan too? It seemed that George Aniki was against the idea of bringing Maria to the bloody crime scene. But considering that Maria would be all alone if left here, it'd surely be much safer to take Maria with us. In the end, it was just Aniki's irresponsible humanism. Okay. We decided that all of us, including Maria, would go to the servant room. Oh, they left the bodies alone. Guys, you left the bodies alone, and now they're going to be fucking either gone or stabbed. Thanks. The bed in the servant room was stained with bright red blood. No, not just the bed. The whole room was covered with a gruesome paint from countless blood stains. That dreadful scene alone was enough to give us an idea of the repulsive sight they'd been trying to describe.
Ooh, I want to look too.
Maria-chan, wait here with me. George Aniki was standing by the entrance, covering Maria's eyes with his back to the room. He probably didn't want to dirty an innocent girl's retinas with the repulsive blood in this room. That was surely the correct decision. I was acting tough right now, so I didn't mind. But for the rest of my life, whenever I see red paint scattered around, I'll probably remember this room and start to vomit. My retinas have already had this room burned into them. In other words, it's already too late for me.
Huh.
Where did they... Damn it! Damn it! Fuck! You never turn your back on the body! Ever! Oh god. If there's a body that's mysteriously missing, then there's a fucking problem. Right after they entered the servant room, Goda-san and Shannon-chan trembled. We shook, wondering what horrible new situation had arisen to make them tremble again. What happened? What is it? Aunt Rosa also shuddered, raised her gun high, and searched for whatever it was that had made them shudder. But she couldn't find it. It was only natural. They were trembling because they couldn't find it. Hey, what in the world's going on? The two bodies aren't here.
What does this mean? That can't be! Those two were definitely here!
Wait. What the hell? Are you saying the corpses just walked off somewhere? That couldn't happen, right? I mean, wasn't the servant room locked? Didn't you unlock the door when you came in just now, Goda-san? So what does that mean? Isn't this the same as Jessica's room? Someone's disappeared from inside a closed room again? That's ridiculous. I don't have a clue what happened either. When we left this room, we definitely locked it. I don't have a clue what's going on anymore. There was a timid, pitiful smile on Godo-san's face that he definitely wouldn't have let show normally. Shannon was the same. 2 corpses disappeared, and furthermore, they disappeared while the door was locked. Even if Kanon-kun was the culprit, he shouldn't have a master key anymore.
That's wrong. Kanon-kun isn't the culprit.
Shannon. I believe Shannon. Kanon-kun is not the culprit. This must be the doing of someone who looks a lot like him. No, Kanon-kun could have gotten a master key. After all, his master key was found in the pocket of Jessica-chan's corpse. And who took that key? That's right. It was Dr. Nanjo. That's right. Back then, it definitely was Dr. Nanjo who searched through Jessica's clothes and found the master key. So if someone had the opportunity to search Dr. Nanjo's corpse, it would have been easy for them to take the master key back. Aunt Rosa searched under the bed and in the locker. By now, I also understood what that meant. If you assume there are 2 culprits, this can be easily explained. The first person was Kanon-kun, or maybe an imposter who looked like him. He finished off Dr. Nanjo and ran off somewhere. The second person was probably the 19th person, Beatrice, whose location was unknown. That person hid under the bed in the servant room beforehand, and while Dr. Nanjo's body was enshrined here, they waited for Genji-san and the rest to leave. Then later they crawled out, took the master key back from Dr. Nanjo's pocket, and carried the 2 corpses away for some reason. If they then locked the door with the master key, you'd end up with this closed room. You constructed that one pretty fast, basing it off your reasoning from Jessica's room. With that method, you could create a closed room even without magic. Should I give you passing marks? However, interestingly enough, there's one thing you mustn't forget. If the culprit took back the master key as you suggest, they must have known that Nanjo took the master key from Jessica's body. You don't have to tell me that. I know. You're probably trying to say that it's information only the people in that place at that time could know. Huh. This third closed room was crushed so fast that you're stuck trying to make hurtful remarks like that. There's no art in repeating the same content over and over. I may have managed to bluff, but that move of the witch hurts bad. I can tell that I'm cracking under the thing I want to deny the most. This person's trying to close in on me from 2 directions. On the one hand, there's the frontal attack, where she tries to force me to believe there's a witch using closed room tricks that only a witch could do. And on the other hand, there's the rear attack, where she tries to lure me into wanting a witch to exist, by strengthening my suspicions of those close to me. In the first closed room, in the chapel, she used the frontal attack, but it didn't work on me. So by the second closed room, and now on the third closed room, she's definitely changing the direction of her attack. However, the fact that she is changing the direction of her attack proves that my resistance is having some effect. And she must have given up on the frontal attack because she clearly can't win with it. I tried to settle my unease by thinking these things, but apparently, the witch had seen through me long ago. I will not abandon my frontal attack. A rear attack only has meaning because it advances at the same time as the front. If I were to degenerate into only using the rear attack, it would merely result in a foolish plan where my means have become my goal. Where my means have became my goal. Really? Well then, won't you repeat, someone was hiding in the servant room using that red you're so proud of? There is no need. The premise of your theory is about to be destroyed. No, really? You refuse? So someone really is hiding? Rosa will destroy your premise right now. Come, let's listen. Oh God, Rosa. Oh God, Rosa. Please believe us, Rosa-sama. The 2 corpses were definitely lying here. The bright red blood on the floor is theirs. Oh shit. Oh fuck, it's because it's only servants here. No! No! Oh my God. Oh no. Oh God. Oh God. 1 second. I have to go be like Hold on. Okay. Okay. Please believe us, Rosa-sama. The 2 corpses were definitely lying here. The bright red blood on the floor is theirs. Aunt Rosa began to search through various objects around the room, her back to Goda-san as he cried out in supplication. Eventually, she found something, and for a while stopped moving. Rosa-sama, we definitely aren't lying. The 2 corpses were definitely here. Be quiet. The person who hid the corpses has confessed that they took them to another place. With this. Oh, fuck! Rosa showed them a single sheet of paper over her shoulder. What on earth is that? Could it be a letter in a sealed envelope just like in the chapel? Yes, that's right. It was set here out in the open. I'll read it. Members of the Ushiromiya family and its household, have you now reached the climax of the riddle of the gold's epitaph? There is only one way you can all stop me, by solving the epitaph's riddle. There are no other options left to you that will result in the suspension of my ceremony. I humbly ask that you take care not to misunderstand your current situation. Searching for me will prove useless. Attempting to escape will prove useless. Trying to deny me will prove useless. Beatrice, the Golden Witch. Bitch! P.S. I borrowed those 2 corpses for my ceremony. They will be returned to you in due time, so I crave your indulgence. Also, these keys belong to you, so I return them to you now. As Rosa read that aloud, the contents of the envelope lay exposed on the palm of her hand. They were 2 master keys. Oh, fuck. Oh, God. Oh, no! The master key that Nanjo had found in Jessica's pocket, which had originally been Kanon's, and Kumasawa's master key. Oh, fuck. What the hell?! Damn. All she had to do was just slip in a little letter. Both of the master keys are there. Well, how to get in now? How to get in now? How? Go ahead, tell me. And I'm like, fuck. So what does that mean? Damn you again? You're saying I can only suspect the servants with keys again? I won't say it in red, okay? I won't deny the possibility that after they locked the door and left, someone was hiding in this room, okay? If they hid under the bed, it still would have been possible for them to carry the corpses somewhere, but they wouldn't have been able to lock the door. The master key they went to all that trouble to get was left right here. That's right, I'd forgotten. What about the keys specifically for this room, the servant room keys? Indeed. Those are kept in the key box in the center of the servant room. There are several servant room keys, but all of those are inside the key box. Which means the situation is exactly the same as Jessica's room. It's not like the servants would walk around with an unnecessary key when they have those convenient master keys. I can accept that they're all kept in the key box. And the other conditions remain unchanged as well. Entry and exit are impossible except for the single door and the single window. Therefore, hidden doors and irregular methods of entry cannot exist. Rejoice, great detectives. And those were both locked. The door and the window do not permit any kind of entry or exit when they are locked. So it wouldn't work to remove the door and make a crack to slide in through or anything like that while the lock is still set. And obviously, it is impossible to unlock the door without a servant key, without a servant room key, or the master key. It's a pain having to read all of these aloud every time. Sooner or later, I should think of a word to put this all together and abbreviate it. But you can't repeat that someone was hiding in this room. However, that alone won't break open the door of a closed room. Ah, damn it! Damn it! It's useless! It's useless! It's all useless! What happened to that spinning the chessboard around thing that you're so proud of? Please, announce your boastful strange theory. Spin the chessboard around. What would I do if I were the culprit? I carry the corpses off somewhere. I leave a letter. I lock the door from the inside. Then I just have to escape this room by some means. Damn it, is that even possible? I was told and read that you can't get outside except through the door or the window. Ah! At that moment, I got it. That's right. The culprit carried away the corpses, left the letter, and since they didn't use a hidden door, they weren't able to escape. That's it. This isn't a question, it's an answer. Beato, before I ask you to repeat anything, I want to check the definition of hidden doors that you're using. What have you thought of? Very well, I'll explain. A hidden door refers to an entrance or exit that cannot be recognized as such by those who don't know of it beforehand, of course. Even children know that. So, in other words, if you can't get outside the room with it, is it a hidden door? It isn't a hidden door? Huh. So that's your game. I kept thinking there needed to be some way for the culprit to escape from the closed room. That's wrong. The culprit couldn't escape. So they decided to hide until we all left. During the second closed room, I tried applying this theory to Kanon-kun. But after hearing Kanon-kun was killed and read, I gave it up. After that, I proposed a third person might have been in the room before escaping through a hidden door. And then, for the first time, I was faced with the red claim that no hidden doors exist. Now, move from there to what I've just learned. That term, hidden door, refers to the things that make it possible to enter or leave a room. In other words, that category doesn't cover things that don't actually lead in or out of the room, even if these things could never be recognized by people who didn't know about them beforehand. So if we had something like a hidden shelf or a secret closet, for example, that wouldn't count as a hidden door. That means the third person from Jessica's room is hiding here, waiting for us to leave. Heh, how pathetic, it was just a bit of wordplay. Looks like that technique should be enough to handle even this third closed room. If there's a hidden shelf under the bed or anything like that, it'd be enough. The culprit's hiding somewhere, waiting for us to leave. The culprit is also trapped in this closed room even now, which means at this very moment, the culprit is still hiding in the servant room, holding their breath. And that means, what the hell? Even though we've been tortured by closed rooms 3 times, at this very moment, we've actually gotten the culprit in checkmate. I'm finally starting to see it. Eat this, Beato. Repeat it. There is no one in this room other than us. By us, I mean me, George Aniki, Maria, Aunt Rosa, Genji-san, Goda-san, and Shanon-chan. Got it? What do you think? You can't say it, right? Huh. Huh. I'll bet that hit you where it hurts. If you refuse, then say it, damn it. Here comes the next one. Repeat it. I don't know how they're hiding in this room, but if they are, then this solves the second closed room, Jessica's room, at the same time. I finally caught her by the tail. With this, I can explain everything. Witches don't exist, and I don't have to suspect anyone. Alright, starting now, I'll spin it all around. Now I'll have her repeat that. No one exists in this room except for your group. Your group refers to Battler, George, Maria, Rosa, Genji, Goda, and Shadon. Damn. Sorry, Battler. Oh, damn. What? Let's go back to Jessica's room. When Jessica's corpse was discovered, only Battler, George, Maria, Rosa, Genji, Goda, Shannon, Kumasawa, and Nanjo were in Jessica's room. Whoops! The corpse of Jessica is also included. Therefore, both in the case involving Jessica's room and the one involving this servant room, no humans exist that you are not aware of. No one is hiding. And I'll say more. Oh shit. No humans. But what if it's a weird-ass dog? Did you think about that, Beatrice? A weird-ass dog? And I'll say more. No method exists by which the door can be locked from the outside without using a key. Regarding the window, no method exists by which it could somehow be locked from the outside. And let me also say this. Oh my god. Damn, Beato! You are incompetent! Oh my god! Holy shit, hold on. Hold on, I gotta save this face. Oh my god, I've gotta save this face. Oh my lord. Oh my god. Oh my god, this fucking face. Oh my god. Oh my god. Holy shit. Oh my god. Oh my god. Holy shit. I like that she can say in red that I'm incompetent. Jesus fucking shit. It's like, that she can say it in red really questions how good the red actually is. It's fucking face! Please clip this. Oh my god. Holy shit. Oh my god, now that's a fucking reaction image right there. Oh my god. You are incompetent. The fucking... Oh my god. Oh my god, my fucking PNG isn't even registering that I'm making sound anymore! I like that she can laugh in red. Holy shit! Dumbass. So, it's really a closed room, isn't it? And just when I finally managed to think of a way out. If you were hiding, that would fit everything. Just when I thought I'd broken through through to your trick. Damn it! Yeah. He just cries! It's useless, it's all useless. For a second, I thought I had it. It was all useless. Damn it. I was so sure that I'd finally seen through her. That I'd seen how she distracted me with her clever red her clever red wordplay and fooled me. Just when I thought I'd found a light in the darkness, it disappeared. Just disappeared, swallowed up by a blood-red sea. Red. Red, 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 red. No one is hiding. And there's no hidden door, and no way to get past the door or window while they're locked. Have you just proven that it's all impossible? Has the devil's proof been fulfilled with the frontal attack? Impossible. That's impossible. What's wrong, ChRoMA Battler? Weren't you so confident in your ability to deny witches? Why are you groveling and wringing out bitter tears in a place like that? Yes, what a truly splendid tactic. Truly splendid how you're trying to make me fall over and drown in a sea of my own tears from my own laughter. That is what you're trying to do, right? You're trying to make me laugh and laugh myself to death, right? ChRoMA Battler. Her laugh! What are you calling magic? I'll definitely prove that wishes don't exist. I definitely won't believe in you. You used the power of magic and bullied and killed everyone for fun? I definitely won't accept that. Hey, Battler. Sorry for bullying you so much. I'll spin the chessboard around from my side. I'll stand in your place and show you the best possible move you could make. Want to hear? Don't screw with me. I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear. Consider Jessica's room. You're off to a good start, you know that. All that about hiding and waiting for everyone else to leave. That truly was well spotted. But why did you only think of Kanon and me, the 19th person? I see. So the hide part of waiting got... the hide part of hiding and waiting got in the way, which prevented you from getting any further. Come on, you see what I'm getting at, don't you? It's Jessica. Jessica. If Jessica were the culprit, a farce like this could be easily constructed. She killed Kanon-kun and carried him off somewhere. Then she played dead and let us walk by. But that's ridiculous! Dr. Nanjo definitely confirmed that she was dead. So was Dr. Nanjo an accomplice too? That's wrong! I also confirmed that Jessica was dead. Of course, I've never examined a corpse before, but she was definitely dead. I think she was dead. No, that's probably, surely, definitely what I thought, but certainly, wait. She was dead. She was dead. Jessica was in on it, and Nanjo, who examined her corpse, was in on it too. And that makes the third closed room a farce, doesn't it? Yeah, then it's simple. Dr. Nanjo was in on it, so in other words, he's on the culprit side. Which means he was never dead in the first place? We thought his body disappeared after he was killed, but what if he was never in the servant room to begin with? So if Kumasawa Bachan disappeared with him, does that mean she's in on it too? That's not all. The servants who all agreed to keep to that story, Genji-san and Goda-san and even Shannon-chan were also in on it. Then the one who stole the key from Maria's handbag was Jessica. No, it could have even been Giorgianiki. After all, if Shannon-chan is on the culprit's side, that automatically makes Giorgianiki on the culprit's side. Wait a second. They're all wolves. Not only am I drowning in an ocean of bright red blood, there are also packs of wolves clambering on the banks, whose blazing eyes tell me that they'll eat me if I crawl out. Which way should I die? Should I deny everything and drown in a bright red sea? Or should I learn the truth and have my whole body chewed to bits by the wolves? It's either one hell or the other. I can't choose. Ah! That's why I'm here. Come, Ushiramiya Battler, and kneel. Swear your eternal loyalty and lick my shoes. If you accept me, all of the riddles will be resolved. With my power, any kind of closed room can be created or destroyed. Battler, don't you want to abandon yourself to the joy of surrendering to one with power? I'll make you my favorite furniture. I'll love you so much and make you my toy until you turn to ashes. God! Haunting, haunting, terror, nightmare. Woof. Oh God. Oh God. Holy shit, you ever get dunked on and then dunked on and then dunked on and then dunked on and then dunked on again? Oh my God. Oh my God. Excessive. Holy shit. Oh my God. What the fuck? That was mean. You are incompetent. Holy shit. My God. What a bitch. What a bitch. God, part of me wants to play more of this tomorrow. But that would be stupid. But I kind of really want to. Anyways. I'll go to the next stopping spot and then I'll stop. I kind of got the hiccups for a second. Oh, that made it worse. Oh God. Okay, I'm good.
Now it's clear. There's no longer any reason to doubt.
Huh? What are you saying?
You kept saying those two were dead, but they aren't here. And now we have this letter from Beatrice where she's been kind enough to confess that she carried the corpses off. It's as simple as that. I've had enough of this farce.
As Aunt Rosa yelled this, she looked at all of us with a fierce expression.
What do you mean by farce? I said it in Jessica-chan's room. You can't trust anyone but yourself and those whose corpses have been found. And since we can't find the corpses of those two people, we must not accept that they've been killed. But please wait, Aunt Rosa. What do you mean by that? Dr. Nanjo and Kumasawa-san aren't dead, they're alive. We're supposed to believe that they've been killed, but they're definitely hiding somewhere in this mansion. I want to see the pictures. Oh God. God, yeah. Yeah, still like, yeah, this isn't enough. We need more. Oh. You would like for me to be embarrassed? Okay. Now I'm embarrassed. Hello, Buddha the Ghost. How's it going? I'm gonna take another sip of water. God, this music is really good. So that they can attack us. How could you know that? Are you saying that Goda-san and the rest are lying?
Rosa-sama, no, all of the Ushiramiya family servants, we all swear that nothing of the sort happened.
You all say that those two were killed, but since there are no corpses, we mustn't believe you. There's a chance that you worked out a story beforehand, that you're lying. There's a good way to prove your innocence, isn't there? Find Dr. Nanjo's and Kumasawa-san's bodies. If you can find them, then maybe I'll start listening to your story. But until you do, you cannot deny that you are all wolves. You, and you. I'll bet you were all bought by that witch, and that your eyes were blinded by gold. Do you really want money that much? That's right, isn't it? You want to live the easy life for as long as you live. What value could a life like that possibly have? Rosa-sama, we couldn't have.
Be silent. And Shannon, don't get any closer. To think you'd repay a 10-year-old debt of gratitude with betrayal. I'll pull the trigger without mercy.
Fuck. Oh shit.
How could you? It's too cruel.
Aunt Rosa, that's horrible. A murder occurred in this room. And then the culprit carried the corpses away. All they're doing is honestly reporting what they saw. Shannon had finally broken down in tears. She had sacrificed 10 years to the Ushiramiya family. She had sacrificed 10 of the most brilliant years of her life. She'd believed that she'd built up a friendly relationship with Rosa. And this was what she got in return. You can kill a person without using a knife. I didn't have to be George Aniki to realize that Shannon-chan had been stabbed deep in the heart, that she was shedding tears like blood. Shannon-san, stay back. Rosa-sama, it is true that I, Goda, have not served for many years, and I understand that I have not earned your trust. However, could you not believe in Shannon-san at least? She has sacrificed a full 10 years in service to the Ushiramiya family. I'm not telling you to believe me. At the very least, can't you believe in Shannon-san? But even I don't understand anymore. I don't understand. We can't search for an answer without suspecting them. Yeah, bit by bit I'm starting to understand. It's because we've been searching an answer. That's why everything keeps going wrong. We don't need an answer. These are all strange murders, committed with bizarre magic by the 19th person, the witch Beatrice, in accordance with some creepy ceremony. Isn't that enough? I don't want to suspect anyone anymore. Shannon-chan and Goda-san were protesting their innocence, half crying. Genji-san quietly put a stop to that. Enough. What Rosa-sama says is quite sensible. Until we find the corpses, we cannot prove Dr. Nanjo and Kumasawa's innocence. That's right. By Rosa-san's argument, if their corpses can be found, then the innocence of those people alone can be proven. But that only counted for the corpses. Even if the survivors searched the mansion and found the corpses, in the end, their own innocence would never be proven. They kidnapped Dr. Nanjo and Kumasawa-san, killed them in another place, and locked the closed room with their own master keys. Unless the closed room could be broken by a method other than that one, it would be impossible to prove their innocence. But that couldn't be done. They only have one chance to prove their innocence. That can only happen if they meet with the culprit, become corpses, and are then reunited with Aunt Rosa. Isn't that strange? They're innocent if they die, but guilty as long as they're alive, just like a witch trial. Oh right, the enemy's a witch, so everything's cool. Is that it? Oh god. Oh god, this is hell. Rosa-sama, we are furniture in service to the Ushiramiya family. Whether you trust us or not is no business of ours. No matter what assessment you give us, We will merely continue to serve until our final hour.
You really are a model servant. I deeply understand why Father trusts you. It really is heartrending that I must suspect even you.
Ooh. Genji-san stuck his hand into his pocket and pulled out a master key. Then he set it on a nearby table. I believe I was given this as a sign of the trust placed in me. That trust has been lost. I think it only natural that I return it.
That's a good decision. Those master keys are the main reason you've been suspected several times today. It may seem elementary that letting go of those might clear away that suspicion, but I don't think it's a bad thing.
You two.
Genji-san looked at Goda-san and Shannon-chan.
The two of them nodded and set their own master keys on the table. Aunt Rosa laid the 2 master keys that had come out of the envelope on top. With that, all 5 master keys were gathered in this place. In other words, this was proof that all of the servants' service until today had been negated, with even the final honor they should have been permitted stripped from them. What the fuck?
Maria, give me that handbag. Ooh, give it back!
Aunt Rosa snatched Maria's handbag, tossed the master keys in there, and held up one of them for all to see. She was showing us that she now had all of the master keys.
Are you satisfied now, Aunt Rosa? Now you have all the master keys. Doesn't that satisfy you? Yes, I'm satisfied. Even if I can't trust anyone else, I can at least trust myself. I've been able to get the gun and all the master keys for myself. Now I don't have to suspect anyone. You are all happy too, I take it. Now you don't have to be suspected anymore.
Nightmare, 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 nightmare. At that time, Maria, who alone seemed to be watching this as though it were a show, sneered at her mother. Aunt Rosa reacted nervously to that laugh and turned around. Oh, God.
Keys don't have anything to do with this. Beatrice can open doors with magic. She doesn't need keys. It doesn't matter who has or doesn't have something like that. Don't I always tell you to stop laughing like that? What is it, Battler-kun?
I had just cut in between the two of them. No, that's not it. I was on my knees and hugging Maria's head. I was crying. Just stop it already, Aunt Rosa. Maria was right. What are you talking about? Oh my god, Battler, this is the most pitiful I've ever seen you. God, you know what Battler looks like? Battler looks like fucking this. Battler looks like this right now. He is a sad dog. Maria, I'm sorry for doubting. I'm sorry for not believing.
Battler?
It was all the witch is doing. The witch is doing. All that stuff about tricks and closed rooms didn't matter. It's just that the witch Beatrice actually exists and she's really a witch. And because I didn't believe, it's been so painful and so sad.
You believe in Beatrice?
Yes, I believe. Beatrice exists, and she's a witch who uses strange magic.
Battler?
Maria let go of my hand, and then she was the one holding my head. Haha, this isn't real.
That's enough, Battler. Beatrice existed. You had so much trouble believing, so you couldn't see her. Witches exist. They exist. And will come soon. You believed in Beato, so you'll surely be invited to the Golden Land. Very soon now. It will happen very soon. So there's nothing to be afraid of anymore. There's no need to be afraid, okay? Stay with me, hands joined, okay? Let's think about the riddle of the epitaph together. Let's think about Beato's puzzle. Beato has been saying it from the beginning. She hasn't said anything other than, let's play and solve this puzzle.
Right, she did. Searching for the culprit was just a waste of time. If only we had just believed in the witch. After gently brushing my cheek as my tears kept dripping down, Maria kissed my forehead as softly as a feather. Oh my god. For just that instant, Maria's smile, which had once seemed creepy to me, looked like that of an angel. We have returned our master keys, but our loyalty to the Ushiromiya family will not change. From now on, we will not enter the parlor without permission. Rosa-sama, please lock the parlor from the inside.
You truly are an admirable person. When the typhoon passes, if the cries of the seagulls return to this island again, I wonder if we'll be able to trust each other once more.
If you were to grant us your trust once again, there could be no greater pleasure.
I see. We'll definitely be able to understand each other.
When the seagulls cry, roll credits. It would probably be best if we left this room as it is until the police come. Rosa-sama, if you would please lock it. We will return to the kitchen. If you need anything, please command us at any time.
Thank you. If you are a wolf, how shamelessly you speak. And if you are a sheep, then I'm sorry for throwing you into the cage of wolves.
Furniture entrusts its fate to the family. If I could regain your trust by giving up this life of mine, I would consider it a great honor.
I hope you all manage to remain safe until the typhoon passes, if such a thing is possible. This is all a rhapsody of blowing winds and pouring rain performed by the typhoon. When the performance ends and the curtain closes, we will surely be able to grasp hands together again.
When the seagulls cry. Fuck, man!
Aunt Rosa nodded in response.
Genji-san turned on his heels. He left the servant room. Goda-san's face was still streaked with tears, but maybe he'd managed to sort out his feelings as he listened to Genji-san's words. His face had been truly shameful, but it had returned to the face of the Goda-san we knew well. I will also be waiting in the kitchen. If you need anything, please command me at any time. If you wish for some warm food, I, Goda, will have the very best prepared for you.
Thank you. I can't wait for your breakfast tomorrow. And the boat will probably come by midday tomorrow. Thanks for everything up until now. Your cooking was my only pleasure on Rokenshima.
Oh my god. Certainly. I, Goda, will prepare a supreme breakfast. Please look forward to tomorrow morning.
Thank you. And Shanon-chan, tomorrow morning, let's make up and have some delicious coffee.
George-kun? I'm going with them. Oh.
It's alright, George-sama. Please return to the parlor. There are no more master keys, so if you're with Rosa-sama in the parlor, you won't be threatened by anyone.
You're right.
That's how things have sorted themselves out, isn't it? Objectively speaking, I'd say you'll be safest staying with me in the parlor. But I won't force you to stay with us. George-kun, you may stay in any place you feel is safe. You're already an adult.
It's up to you where and with whom you spend the time until tomorrow morning. Yes, I will decide with whom I'll spend this night. Aniki. Battler-kun, stay with Aunt Rosa in the parlor. I'm sure you'll be safest there. Everywhere outside the parlor is dangerous in comparison, so I can't leave her in a place like that alone. It's not like I suspect Shanon-chan and the other servants, or anyone at all. I don't want to suspect anyone. The inheritance, the gold, that's all nothing. There's no way people are killing each other over things like that. Yes, I know better than anyone how pure your heart is, Battler-kun. No one will blame you. No one. Aniki?
It's alright. I'll protect you, Battler. If you're with me, even Beatrice won't be able to lay a hand on you. I may be small, but I'm still a witch.
I bet you were gonna casually skip over that. Yes, Maria-chan, I'm leaving Battler in your care. Alright, Shanon, let's go.
Yes. Rosa-sama, if you would excuse me. If you have an order, please call me at any time.
I'm sorry for saying something so cruel just now. I don't expect you to forgive me until tomorrow morning. But when tomorrow morning comes, let me apologize again.
Yes. Thank you very much.
George, Aniki, and Shanon-chan left the servant room together. Now only Maria, Aunt Rosa, and I were left in this disgusting, blood-stained room. Until Genji-san disappeared, until Goda-san disappeared, and until George, Aniki, and Shanon-chan disappeared, we stood there, shocked. After their presence and their footsteps had completely disappeared, Aunt Rosa giggled, as though she'd just remembered something pleasant. You can't trust them for a moment. That damned furniture. That one sentence made me choke. Why are you saying something like that? There are 5 master keys in all? Who would believe that? It's obvious that some duplicate keys exist. As if we could trust them just because they pulled keys out of their pockets. You don't mean that, right? By setting down those keys, they weren't letting go of them. They weren't just letting go of them. You've made all their hard work count for nothing, disgraced it, trampled it. And in the end, you made them give up their keys. What's with that parting line? They've shown that they're willing to go this far and you still can't trust them? Too much. That's just too much. It's a devil's proof. There are 5 master keys in all. It's impossible to prove something like that. You can show that there are 5 master keys by placing them here, but you can't prove that no more than 5 exist. Only a demon or a witch could prove something like that, right? Stop it already! Stop it already! Please, Beatrice, show yourself right now, and tell Aunt Rosa and Red that there are only 5 master keys. Please, I'm begging you. This can only be proved by devils, by a witch like you. Please, Beato, show yourself here and tell Rosa that those are all the master keys, and that there's no need to suspect anyone anymore. There are only 5 master keys. There are only 5 master keys. How's that? No matter how often I say it, it won't reach Rosa's ears. After all, it seems there's still someone who denies that I exist, right? ChRoMA Battler. I accept it. I accept it. You exist. You exist. You definitely exist. So I'm begging you, stop this already. Stop it already. Stop it. Ugh. Words alone are not enough. Show it with your actions. Swear from your heart that you will become my furniture. Can you do it? Take off your clothes, be naked, and then put your hands on the ground and crawl. Clothing is proof of one's humanity. From now on, you'll become furniture, so it's only natural that you will lose that right. Then kneel, make your tongue crawl on my shoes. Can you do it? You can do it, right? When you do, I'll appear and say it in red. I'll tell Rosa that there are only 5 master keys. Oh, but of course you'll never abandon that lordly pride of yours. But you've done well. You've done more than enough, and you're starting to get that tingly feeling, aren't you? For just an instant, you thought maybe licking my shoes wouldn't be so bad, didn't you? And you immediately denied that and felt ashamed, right? Just looking at your expression feels just heavenly. That face of yours is so pathetic. So go look in a mirror. You'll see how low you are, naked and licking my shoes, right? Can you see it, ChRoMA Battler? God, the laughing. Haunting. Nightmare. 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 Oh, God. Oh, my God. My God. Just her laughing on loop. Holy shit. What a bitch, what a bitch, what a bitch, what a bitch, what a bitch. What a bitch, 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 what a bitch. Oh my God, what a fucking bitch. God. What a fucking bitch. She's a fucking bitch. God, I just can't get over her being like, funny. I just can't get over her being like, ha 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 ha, funny. She's just like, ha 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 ha, funny, haha. You said you give up, but that's not enough for me. That's not enough. No, you need to kneel. You need to lick my shoes. You need to remove all of your clothes. You need to grovel on the ground. You need to cry. And he's just like, damn, bitch. My God. This is a very specific kink. It's so fucking funny. God, it's so funny. God. Okay, that's enough for tonight. Okay, maybe tomorrow I'll do more of this. We are so close to finishing this arc. I can feel it in my bones. I can feel it in my tit that I've been regularly holding in my hand during this stream. I can tell. I know it's coming. I know the end is coming. I want to just get there. So I will stream tomorrow. I think. I will unless I start feeling bad. But yeah, God. Well, alright. Tomorrow, probably. If not tomorrow, next Friday. More Umineko. Oh. God. Oh my God. Wow. What a fucking bitch. God damn. Holy shit. Can you imagine doing this to anything? To anyone? To anything. Literally anything. What the fuck? Just being crushed so thoroughly, constantly. And then there's just nothing to do, and there's no escape, and you're just like, oh god, oh god, oh god. And it's just nothing. There's just nothing. Wild. Absolutely wild. What a cruel fucking bitch. Love it. She's such a fucking whore. I love it. Anyways, that's enough for this stream. Let me go look at Twitch real quick. Do I want to raid anyone? Will I raid anyone? Maybe. I like that, my Bart consistently wants me to just jump around. TM. But I think I will just, oh man. Yeah, I think I will just, end it here. So have a good night. God, what a fucking bitch. Ruthless. Cruel. Savage. I love her. I want to cosplay her. The violence. Just violence. Anyways, thanks for coming. God, I look so sad. I look so incredibly sad. Holy shit. Hold on 1 second. Oh my god, I look too sad. I'm not that sad. Oh my god. Holy shit. Anyways, have a good night. Maybe tomorrow. If not tomorrow, next Friday. I will post on my Twitter whether or not I will be streaming tomorrow. But probably unless my stomach kills me. Or something else. Anyways, thanks for coming. Goodbye. Good night.